Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, July 8th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got MLB action this afternoon. Seattle Mariners, Houston Astros. Third game in the set. I'm not really sure how this one is going to go. Pretty heavy advantage for Houston, you would think, today, even though I do have confidence in Wu. The lineup is kind of like a Logan Gilbert-esque lineup, so not a lot of help towards the 7, 8, 9 hole. But if we can get the bats going a little bit earlier than maybe expected, maybe we can get Wu a win, and I definitely am rooting for him. So let's go over some of the things that I got set up for y'all today. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday. Lauren in the building, how are you? How is the zoo with you and the fam? I assume since you're here, you got back in time and got to spend some great family time, see some animals up there at the local zoo, and then you're here watching the game. So awesome. I appreciate you. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. And let's get into... Obviously, you got Brian Wu on the thumb, and I don't want to jinx it, but if we end up losing the game, it could end up being Kyle Tucker. So a lot of times when I pick certain guys for whatever reason, sometimes they have fantastic days, but other times it might be a piece that hurts us a little bit, but hopefully not too much damage from Kyle Tucker. All right, let me pause this real quick. I got some Shark Fest going on, so I need to make sure we have the audio for the game. All right, here we go. All right, leading off for my Mariners, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting third, first base, Ty France. Batting fourth, DHing for Seattle this afternoon, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth and playing third base, Eugenio Suarez. Batting sixth and catching for Seattle tonight, Tom Murphy. Batting seventh and playing left field today, A.J. Pollock. Batting eighth, second baseman, Jose Caballero. And batting ninth, right fielder, Dylan Moore. And on the mound for the Mariners, Brian Wu. Let's go, baby. And I got some extra ones, we had from the last broadcast. We got some Wu from college, Wu number 1, Wu number 2, and we hopefully Wu can get the job done. He's going to need help, though. That's absolute. Let's get into the Astros here. All right, leading off for the Astros, second baseman, Mauricio Dubon. Batting second today, shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Batting third, right fielder, Kyle Tucker. Batting cleanup and batting fourth for Houston, third baseman, Alex Bregman. Batting fifth, first baseman, Jose Abreu. Batting sixth, DHing for Houston, Yanier Diaz. Batting seventh, left fielder, Corey Julks. Batting eighth, center fielder, Chas McCormick. And batting ninth, catcher, Martin Maldonado. And on the mound, one of their best pitchers, Framber Valdez. Let's go, M's. I mean, we won the first 2 out of 3 in Seattle, which is mind-blowing. But the Astros have had injuries, okay? And then obviously we won the first two so far, but the last two are going to be the hardest because we got Wu, who normally would be kind of like a five-hole guy, but he's got potential. Even though the wins aren't there yet, he has the ability to get 8 to 10 Ks, and that's kind of surprising for a guy that's in the five-hole, kind of the Marco Gonzalez filler replacement while Marco got hurt. Marco was having a good year this year, 4-1, 5-1 record, somewhere in that nature. So it was going good for Marco, but it gave a chance for Wu to see what he can do. And I feel when his first start, he gave up a shitload of runs, but still had Ks. Then the next start, he got more Ks, gave up a lot, but it was a little bit less. And then he got that ERA from 1 billion to about 10, then 5, and then he's going to be floating around 3 or 4. But I do like the upside and potential. And honestly, if I had a choice between Wu and Gilbert, I'm going to go with Wu. Sometimes I'd even go with Wu over Castillo because it seems like, Luis sometimes is money and sometimes he's not. But I feel like as far as consistency, if Wu got a better lineup, I think he could do just as good as Castillo or Kirby or Miller. He just needs a little bit of help, and they usually don't give him that much help. So if he ends up getting some dubs, he's doing it with like a C lineup when everyone else is getting the A team lineup. So we'll see what happens. But I'm ready. And we got some good matchups, obviously, for the rest of the day. We've had some matchups, early on, right? And then as we're, moving towards the afternoon, obviously we got the best ones, right? And the best ones are going to end up being Atlanta in Tampa Bay, which could be a World Series preview, right? And then later, you got Dodgers and Angels. That's a pretty decent matchup. And then you got the Mets and the Padres, and then we got this particular matchup as well. So. What's good, brother? I know. I saw that. I was like 3-0. John's in the building. How are you? Thanks for the video. I did not get a chance to watch it just yet. Spending a lot of time with my pup, but I'll probably end up watching it at some point. I'm not sure if there was some kind of hidden message in there, like the Mariners are cursed and they're never going to win or something like that. But, I feel like, with my sport teams, I don't really have a whole lot to look forward to most of the time. It's like Blazers are never going to win anything. The Ducks can only win the Rose Bowl, and we can't win the Natty. Buccaneers have been probably the luckiest for me just because of the players that I've gotten, and the coaches that I've had. And then surprisingly, somehow getting Brady and Gronk and AB before he went super crazy, and having Bruce Arians there. And also studs like Levante David and Devin White, and drafting correctly with Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tristan Wirfs. I mean, it wouldn't have all come together if that didn't happen. But I do like Seattle's chances moving forward, though, to do more than maybe some of my other teams. So we'll see what happens. Mariners baseball, let's go. Hey, well, we got to. We got to. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That was definitely Bush League and dirty. But again, it just seems like anytime we want to be able to, like, okay, maybe we need to cut back on some of like the cheating stuff. But it seems like every year there's always at least like one incident, kind of like when the Patriots were in that run of cheating and, Belichick, Spygate, Deflategate. It seemed like every year or two there was something new that surfaced of some kind of bending the rules or cheating, And I mean, what happens if he would have dropped the ball and then they did the replay? I mean, what did he expect that they were, he knew he wasn't going to be safe. So he decided to kind of hit the arm, which is totally illegal. And then what would have happened if he would have got hurt right there? Bench brawl. Maybe that's what we needed. And then we would have went on like a 12-game win streak and beat the shit out of them, but not what you want to see. But, it's kind of funny that it ended up happening to the Mariners. But we play each other so often, it's a matter of time. So. Oh, well, yeah. I just figured, I'm just looking at all the teams that I support and all the teams and whatnot. And sometimes there's going to be some reality, to, like the curses, but sometimes history is meant to be broken. Like when the Cubs thought they never were going to win the World Series, and, they had that one chance to either get it done or not. And luckily they had, Chris Bryant, and you had Rizzo, and you had guys there at the right time, and they were able to, break that streak and whatnot. But yeah, but I'll end up probably watching, and there'll probably be a little bit of truth, just based off history and this team sucking over and over, or maybe being cursed, and but some curses are broken, and sometimes shitty teams end up being good. I root for those teams, so. Yeah, that's exciting. You know what I mean? And I started doing, my first game for the Kraken, doing like live, reactions, and I'll have obviously a better setup than I had this year with the scoreboard now and everything else. But I did Game 7 against Colorado because I was looking for content, and I was like, already doing a little bit of basketball and college as football ended, and then it's like NFL, college football, wrestling. That's kind of at the top. But once the NFL and college football end, you got to be able to do other things like hockey and baseball and NASCAR. And I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I'm always looking to watch that, the top event of the day. And obviously, I did Game 7, and they ended up winning, which was definitely surprising. And they have a very bright future. Those two organizations, obviously, Mariners and Kraken, and you could probably throw the Seahawks in there too. I mean, they look like they could be either a winner of the NFC West or second place to the Niners this year, and they could hit the wild card, win maybe 10 to 12 games, and maybe do some damage. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But the Pacific Northwest, specifically up there in Seattle, things are going pretty well. All right, baby. All right, one moment here. All right, baby. Let's go. JP Crawford, baby. Let's go. JP grounded out already to second base. Mauricio Dubon to first baseman. To Abreu one away. Damn, already? JP, I didn't even get to celebrate you or nothing. That was quick. Come on, baby. All right. I was getting nervous there. JP. There it is. Very quick grounder. We need to be better than that. We need to have some discipline here. Come on now. Batting second for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you today. Let's go. I saw that Sarah sent me the link, and he's really exciting. Like I said, we don't have too many exciting players like that. The Futures Game is going on right now too, and Mariners have Harry Ford. That's like our future like stud catcher, and then we have another player that's playing as well that I don't know a whole lot about, but I got the photos sent to me, and yeah, so I think it's on Peacock right now. So I actually was kind of considering maybe throwing that on. I'm pretty sure it's on Peacock. I would like to be able to kind of keep up. I had Shark Fest in the background, but fuck, might as well try to watch a little bit of that futures. And some of your teams are in that as well. Now I just got to look to see if it. I have to look on my phone. Hold on, let me look. Is it live? What do we got here? All-Star Futures Game. All right. I'm that much of a nerd that I got to. I mean, I don't watch the Futures Game every year. I really don't. I really don't watch it every year, but I got it on now. So I got it on the big screen here, and then we got the game on here as well. Still 0-0 in the Futures Game. But sometimes in these future games, like if you are bored right now and you have the ability to turn on Peacock and you have it because of WWE, I would recommend watching it because, like I said, you'll get to a point where maybe in a year or two, those players will be starters and significant guys. You know, just a couple years ago, we had Kirby in it, Julio, and Kelenic, and look where they are, you know, now. And so it's like a lot of these names may not be familiar now just because you're like, who are these guys? They're like rookies or guys in single, double, triple A. But some of these guys will get called up as early as this year, later in the year, and some of them will get an opportunity to really shine next year or the year after. It's kind of like a 3-year gap once you play in this game. It's either immediate or a year or two after, and a lot of these guys will turn into stars. So, and if you're not a star, you're like a above average player, like a solid contributor. So, next up is Ty France. Come on, baby. But I remember I watched a little bit with the hype with Julio a couple years ago. Yeah, the steal of home is crazy. Pitch is high, 1-2 count. Let's go, Mariners. If we can win this one for Woo, this would be huge. Like I said, I really do enjoy what he brings to the table. And if he just didn't start off with such a terrible first start where he gave up all those runs, you know, it's like you're playing limited innings, you give up like 5 to 7. It's hard to recover from that. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Framber with another K. I see you. Oh, Framber. I'll give you some love. All right, Brian, your turn. And again, this would be huge if we can end up getting this dub. We got Logan Gilbert tomorrow, but you know, winning 3 out of 4 would. Whew, I mean, we're trying to woo all the way to the All-Star game, you know. And I'll give you a couple throwbacks of Woo in college because we got to know where he came from and where he's going. Let's go. All right, leading off for the Astros, second baseman Mauricio Dubon. Batting second this inning, shortstop Jeremy Pena. And batting third, right fielder Kyle Tucker. Yeah, I mean, it's like all-star going against our Woo, you know, and so but the thing is you've seen steady improvement, and not only that, he's been throwing like 4Ks, 6Ks, 8, 10Ks. So you see, like, yeah, you might be giving up some home runs, but if you have the ability to throw heaters like Miller and Castillo and have a potential to get to 8 to 10Ks, we'll understand. You know, if you give up like, you know, 3 solo shots, but try to bring those solo shots down from 3 to maybe 1 or 2, get some run support, and we can win with you. You know, it's like I don't see like all the negative stuff. I see a lot of positive, and honestly, I would rather have him in front of Logan Gilbert. I have more confidence in Wu. I just need to be able to have the lineup not be a C plus lineup. I want him to get the A lineup that Miller gets and Kirby gets and Castillo gets. Gilbert and Wu get the shit lineup. And I don't mind the Tom Murphy. He's been hot, so I don't mind that swap with Cal. But usually you'll have two other spots. And, it's like if you're going to go A.J. Pollock, Dylan Moore, I mean, what do you want me to say? What, we're going to go, 0 for 8? Unless those guys contribute, it's going to be a lot harder to win. So, I mean, I don't like it when you got two guys that are essentially going to give us more than likely nothing. And there is a chance that maybe Pollock gets something, goes 1 for 4, 2 for 4. But what are the chances both guys, go 2 for 4, 3 for 4? Almost zero. So, but it isn't impossible. But we got our guy, Brian Wu, Wu, Wu. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Wu. Let's bring it today. Let's go, baby. Brian Wu. Chopper. Routine play. JP. See you late at a tie, France. 1 away. And in the Futures game right now, we got Harry Ford for the Mariner catcher prospect is in the box right now. And this is the better player out of the two guys that Seattle is representing, I think. And there is he's from Great Britain, lots of potential. And if we can get someone that can defend, higher than Cal and obviously Tom Murphy and can hit better, then obviously it's just a matter of time that he's going to be our catcher. So big swing and a miss struck him out. Damn it. And I'll keep you updated on that with our two Mariner players that we have in the Futures game. All right, come on, Wu. Let's go. I got to multitask. I got to watch both. Chopper foul. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday. Thank you for anyone that's helping me on the Twitter side as well. Good matchups today. This one, and obviously with the Braves and the Braves and the what is the matchup? Braves and I just had a brain fart there watching that hit. The Braves and the Rays. Damn it. Come on, Wu. The sun is out, too. Damn, right in the zone. You can't be doing that. And when you got a guy like Jeremy Pena, he will make you pay. So you can't throw in the zone. There's certain guys that, you don't want to challenge in the middle of the zone. Pena is one of them. And this is probably the guy that'll hurt you the most. Kyle Tucker. He's on the thumb today. I don't want him to go yard. I won't be surprised if he does or gets a single or double or triple today. But I hope we minimize the damage and hopefully we get some cheap outs because he might be the reason that the Mariners lose today. Very good player. My favorite besides Pena. Those are probably my two favorite besides Yordan Alvarez. All right, baby, let's go. National broadcast, too, for the Rays and the Braves, as well as the Astros and Mariners, depending on what part of the country that you're in. 0-1 pitch for Wu. Inside, 1-1 count. And I got the Futures game on here in the studio as well. So, again, we'll get some updates on that. That one probably will be a little bit more, low key. But anytime we get the Mariner guys up there, I want to kind of take a peek to see what they're doing, see if they can make a couple big plays, see what our future entails. All right, what are we going? What are we doing here? We got an equipment swap or something? So they got Murphy doing something. Yeah. I mean, I honestly would just kind of wish they would stop, but it just seems like it just runs in their blood in that organization. Just like one bad egg leads to all the others, and the ringleader obviously being Altuve, And it's like I feel like a lot of these guys that are doing it, they're like so good already that they don't need to. Like they, you know what I mean? Like Astros could probably have won the World Series without cheating, or like at least been better than maybe they originally thought. It's like you don't necessarily have to do those things, but I guess the greed will take over with like the Patriots and the Stros. But I mean, is it really worth it? For your legacy to be tarnished forever if you get caught, and then everything you do has got a black eye for the rest of your life. It's like, I don't know, not really worth it. It's like, yeah, you got a championship that no one is going to acknowledge. No one gives a shit. You're like, oh, we're champions. Yeah, cheating. Like, it's like, what do you want, a medal? What do you want us to acknowledge that you won the championship when you cheated? It's like, it's a lose-lose situation, and then, not, admitting to it. We don't do that. You're, whatever. We didn't do nothing. And then they do something like with the Chas McCormick thing just a couple days ago. Tucker. Well, there we go. See, my intuition was right. I put Tucker on the thumb, and look at that. First run, RBI. I knew it. Like I said, sometimes I get these feelings, where I'll just have like a vision, or I'll just have an idea of what something's going to happen. And look at that. A triple. That's like I say it, and then it happens. And sometimes it's not good because it's like good things happen for that other team. But I had a feeling that this was going to be the breaking out day, and I wanted to be able to showcase Woo and Tucker, and there it is. Unfortunately, 1-0. And not only was it, an initial, like, let me do something, triple, fuck out of here. Triples never fucking happen. And, of course, it happens right away. 1-0 Houston. Next up for the Stros, third baseman Alex Bregman. And Bregman and Pena feed off, the momentum that they get from like Alvarez and Tucker. When Alvarez and Tucker are great, it just feeds off the others, and I can't speak for Altuve, because he's hurt and whatnot. But when Jordan comes back, we'll see what we get. Definitely an increase in wins, that's for damn sure. And there's momentum right there. Another one off Woo. God damn it. 2-0, just like that. And I knew this was going to be a tough game. And it's not like I think Woo is a terrible pitcher. He's in our 5-hole. We just need to be able to provide some offense for him. He's going to have growing pains. But again, it's like you're not going to be able to silence Pena and Tucker or Bregman, when you got obviously Jordan Alvarez and Altuve out. Eventually, they're going to get going on somebody. And they're going to get going, obviously, here today. And they probably will do the exact same thing to Logan Gilbert tomorrow, unfortunately. So we just got to be able to get some run support to give us ourselves a shot. So, and the manager made Dusty Baker made a lineup change and brought Pena up to the 2-hole, and I thought that was a big part of it too. Because if you end up getting someone on base for Tucker to get an opportunity, he usually cashes in. When it's just him and no one else is on base, he still can produce. But it just seems like when there's guys like ready to score, certain people's level of play increases. Just like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, same thing. Like we know they can get solo dingers, but when they see that guy on first, second, or third, it just seems like okay, they lock in a little bit more, and then good things are bound to happen. And just like that, with a blink of an eye, 2-0 Stros. Caballero, nice catch. Oh, we finally get an out. Yeah. But again, games are long, you know what I mean? You can't overreact. I mean, like I said, there's a very good chance that we lose today and tomorrow. But if we can just find a way to win one out of these two games, or just give some fucking run support, for Woo or Gilbert. And if we get run support, we can compete. But these are the type of games where, we'll have like a Woo and Gilbert. Sometimes they play good. Sometimes they get roughed up. But a lot of times they don't get run support, So you gotta give Woo and Gilbert usually 5 to 6 runs. You can't give them 1 or 2. You got to do the same thing you're doing for Castillo and you're doing for Miller when he's healthy, and for George Kirby. Same type of effort has to apply with these other guys that are like number 5 and 6 in the lineup. Pitch is high, 1-1 count. And I moved around some of my speakers and readjusted the microphones and everything. How does the sound? Is the sound everything okay? Does it need to be turned up, or is everything okay as far as the microphones and the way that I sound? There's no echo when I'm talking or anything. I hope, because usually if there's a slight echo, throughout the whole stream, then usually the microphones need to be unplugged and plugged back in and calibrated. But other than that, hopefully everything is okay. All I would have to do is typically just turn him up, but I think it should be all right. 3-1 count. Come on, baby. Come on, Woo. 3-1 pitch. Got to get up out of this fucking inning. Right past him. Fucking Jose. I mean, I know he could have went to the force out the second, but the guy can't play defense. He bobbles fucking everything. But luckily, we didn't have to get a double play there. Bobbled it, looked at second, and I was like, oh, hell, you better throw it to first. All right, we got to figure something out here. Come on now. All right, leading off for the Mariners in the top of the second inning, DHing for Seattle, Oscar Hernandez. Batting second, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. And batting third, catching for the Mariners today, Tom Murphy. I like that photo. I like the throwbacks, the City Connects. I like the color, the font. Nice. Looks good. Futures game still top of the second, still 0-0. Anything that happens in there, I'll let you guys know. But I remember just going back and looking at a couple of the rosters from like 2020, 2021, and it's like shocking how many all-star or potential future all-star players are playing in these games. And some years are going to be better than others, but you look at the list in a couple years, and you're typically going to see 5 to 10 really impactful pitchers, hitters, and quality infielders and outfielders as well. Yeah, obviously the people were kind of like complaining about like the pants, because the pants were kind of like blackish, dark blue, and it kind of at first like didn't look like it matched. Like maybe they should have just went all blue or blue and white pants with like a stripe or something, like something different that would be more matching. But as like we watch them wear it, and it's not like anyone's gonna be like, oh my god, I need to go get the Mariner pants. Said no one ever. It's not like you go and buy those at the Mariner store, right, or MLB shop. But as the games have gone on, I think the uniform has kind of grown on me a little bit. At first, I was like, I don't like the pants. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them. And then now, as I've been watching, and like it's kind of nice to be able to have something that's like very unique, and it's just that uniform. And at first, the pants were a little weird for me, but again, I kind of like them now. Overall, as a concept, the pants still could be better, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But again, I like the hat and the jerseys and the hard hat. Oscar Hernandez, 249 average, 15 dingers, 49 ribbies. Let's go, baby. Right. Nobody's going to buy the pants. But, if you're like, a fashion person or someone that likes to be matching, with certain sports gear, or just in your normal general dressing, certain people they got the hat, they got to match the socks or maybe the shoes. And, there's certain combos of, the jerseys and things like that. Some people match, some people don't. But yeah, I think the pants at first, I was like, I don't know about these, but I think that everything is kind of, I'm warming up to the idea. So, Megan in the building, how are you? Hopefully you are feeling better. 2-0 Stros. I got the Futures game on Peacock here on the TV as well. I'm trying to do a double dip here. Hopefully that we can get a Mariner win. Then tomorrow, we got the Mariners early at like 11 a.m. I may do that with Logan Gilbert, and then we got a NASCAR race in Atlanta. I believe it's somewhere 2, 3, 4 o'clock Pacific time. I think it's on like 4. So I'll probably end up doing that. So we'll see. We're going to end up doing 2 streams tomorrow, or I may just do the NASCAR just because the Mariner game is on early, and I don't know how many people would be willing to watch it with me at 11 a.m., especially if the views and the possible donos could be a little light. So I don't know. I'll kind of make a decision. I'm definitely not against working hard and grinding it out, even if the end result isn't really in my favor. I'm going to be watching the Mariner game anyways, so might as well probably do it and then just do the NASCAR one right afterwards, probably. But I don't want to, abandon, leave my pup alone, for too long. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But if I end up not doing the Mariner stream in the morning at 11 a.m., I definitely will watch it, and then we'll hop on it and we'll do NASCAR, and then we'll be right back at it. Obviously, Monday there won't be any baseball, and then we got obviously we got the home run derby, and then Tuesday the All-Star game. Yeah, you need 48 hours. You need to go to sleep. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of teams, I think, in the NFL that are going to be like excited, for next year. But if you are one of the, top 12 teams that are like you're a playoff team, either from last year or you may be this year, like possibly like the Lions, it's exciting for certain franchises. And the NFC is terrible. That's just the bottom line. So, I mean, you got Eagles, Niners, Seahawks, Saints, Minnesota, Detroit, and that's it. I mean, you're not really gonna. I mean, there's not, you're gonna get the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and the defense won't be as good typically on that AFC side. You're gonna have the same Bills and Chiefs. There's gonna be a couple surprise teams that do a little bit better over there as well, but there's definitely gonna be a lot of wiggle room, And if you are one of the better teams on that NFC side, even if you're a wild card team, it's not going to be necessarily, Eagles, Niners every year in the NFC Championship game. There's going to be wiggle room for one of the others, Saints, Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, one of these teams that maybe upset and go a little bit further. And with the Vikings, they don't really have a defense. Lions, it would be something kind of brand new to them, kind of like the Jags. So it's like, how far can you really go? So it really does put the Saints and the Seahawks probably in the driver's seat if they can just stay healthy, that they should be able to compete with the Eagles and Niners, maybe not have as good of a record or slightly better, but you should be in the mix. So if you're one of those 4 teams, the future looks pretty good going into 2023. AJ Pollock in the box. Okay, yeah, let me know. Yeah, catch me up on anything Seahawk related. If you got anything new with the rookies or anything that's been talked about with Njigba. Throw to first. Got him. Damn it. Good defense there by Houston. Bregman, I see you. Yeah, but anything with the rookies or any updates, Kraken news. Yeah, I'm always down for any updates with anything. So I mean, sometimes, when we get to this point of the year, it's a little bit slower, so we're kind of waiting for football. And I think we have 7 weeks away for college football. So once college football starts, it starts a little bit before the NFL, but you will have some preseason NFL. So it won't be like the real deal. But any football, even if it's preseason, if you love it, as much as a lot of us do, it's like, are we still going to watch a game with a bunch of 3rd and 4th stringers? Yeah, we are, and you're probably not going to be able to do that with any other sport. But it shows you how much, the NFL draft is a fucking spectacle compared to anything else. The NBA tries to be like the NFL, but nobody gives a shit about the NBA on the same level as the NFL. They try to make it this big event. But honestly, most people don't really give a shit about the NBA draft. Not the same way as the NFL draft, and that is facts. Oh, we got a 2-0 lead in the Futures game. Oh, diving catch in the outfield. Oh, it was our Mariner prospect. Wow. Our Mariner prospect in the outfield. I'm not sure if he plays center field. Kind of looks like Julio. And he made a big play. Oh, Jay Buhner there. Buhner's there? Oh, shit. Bones. Bones is there. Jonathan Clase, center fielder. So he's kind of like a Julio position. And then we got the Harry Ford. So those are the two Mariner guys. So he's batting. Our guy's batting first and fourth. So we got like a leadoff type guy, or that can be moved around, like a Julio clone, right? So if something happens to Teoscar or Kelenic, boom, we got another guy here. And then we got a guy that can compete and push Tom Murphy and Cal Raleigh and Harry Ford, who's kind of like the prospect, the new one. So cool to be able to see Jay Buhner. Fuck, I haven't seen Jay Buhner in a minute besides coming to Mariner games. That is very cool. And obviously, this Futures game is being played at T-Mobile right now. So, National League, American League. National League's up 2-0. Come on, American League. Let's go. Yeah, but that's only if you're an NHL fan. But I'm just saying overall, NHL, MLB, NBA, some people can enjoy it, but we're not talking about like a fucking mob, like people like sit there and watch everything, and some people watch only the first round, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's a big deal. I feel like the other ones try to make it a big deal, but unless you're extremely hardcore into the sport, yeah, you'll enjoy it. But for like the occasional fan, they're not going to give a shit. An occasional fan is not going to give a shit about the NHL draft or the MLB draft. Like, they might care who they get, but they're not going to sit there and take the time to watch it. That's just the reality. And then with the NBA, I mean, they make it kind of a spectacle. So I feel like the NBA one is watched a little bit more than MLB or NHL. Not necessarily making it better, but I think more eyeballs are on it. But I mean, I don't know. I think the NBA draft stuff is terrible. Like, when I watch it and when I turn it on, it's like, commentary fucking stinks, and it's like I need to see like less commentary, more highlights, and I don't know. It just seems like really fake. Like the interviews and the shit they put together. It doesn't seem genuine. It just seems like they're putting on a show for social media, and I don't like that. So, big swing and a miss. Come on, Woo. Yeah. But college football and NFL can't get here quick enough. Oh, Harold Reynolds is there too. Lupinella. Oh my God, Lupinella, Harold Reynolds, Jay Buhner. How many Mariners they got over there? They got all the legends there. I mean, I saw the photo, but I didn't know that they were all going to be like, I thought some of them were just going to be like chilling, and I didn't know they would all be sitting there like kind of being like coaches and the future game. I saw that they were going to be like ambassadors, and I was like, oh, cool. But I didn't know that they were going to be a part of this game as much as they were. Got him. There we go. Come on, Woo. Let me see this replay with this Woo. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, baby. What a pitch. Nice job by Woo. Brian. Woo. Let's go. Got to find a way. We got to find a way to get some run support for Woo. Just a little bit. A little bit of run support. Just a little bit. Bottom of the second, 2 outs, 0-1 count. Woo. Big swing and a miss, 0-2 count. Let's go, baby. College Woo. Come on, baby. Number one. Wow. See? I mean, popped up. Uh-oh. Right to Julio. There we go. Good job, Julio. The defense. My guy. Tink Hence pitcher. Sarah are you watching it? Your Tink Hence guy is on the mound right now for the Cardinals, John and Sarah. I don't know if you guys have Peacock. I assume you guys do. I know Sarah does because we watch WWE pay-per-views, but he's on the mound right now. I should unmute this. I need to listen to this. Where the fuck is my mute? There it is. Oh fuck. There it is. Let me hear what they're saying. I got Harold Reynolds and Lou Piniella and a few people, I believe. All right, take it easy. Yeah, I'm trying to always add things to the stream. A couple little animations with the moose, and I got a few of them. I'm trying to just put in there, just a little something to add. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm talking about Harry Ford if they're going to let him go for one more inning. Well, fucking A, man. They're down 2-0. I want to be able to see Ford out there, see what he can do. And Ford just kind of seems a little small, though, for a catcher. But I guess if you can be like a Buster Posey, like sometimes you don't need to be like big, like Mike Piazza, I guess. Sometimes I guess you could be like kind of a more finesse, catcher, as long as you can throw guys out and you can be better than Cal and possibly Murphy. I mean, that would be the goal at some point where he's our, guy that can hit over 300 hopefully and do something big. I'm going to mute this now. Three-two count in that futures game. Come on, baby. Tink. 2-0 Stros. Oh, the Moose. All right, come on, Jose. We need to get this going here. Yeah, I think I remember you, when you were in Seattle. Yeah. Mariner Moose. And didn't they have something set up there where you could play like chess or something with the Moose? They had like events like going on there as well. Come on, baby. Top of the third. 0-2 count. Astros up 2-0. Come on, baby. Yeah, see, I have a good memory. Like most people would not remember that, but I remember many, many things. Even, that's like with the stats and everything, even from when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old. I don't know how I remember that stuff, but, usually if it's in there, it's in there still. Nice. Framber being Framber. Yeah, and the only way that we're going to end up winning this game, we have to get like 5, 6 runs. And I don't know if we're going to be able to manufacture that, but I hope so. Nice. There we go, Jose. There we go. Nice job. Jose Caballero. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. George Kirby on the mic. My guy. And like I was telling people, a month ago, that I thought maybe Luis Castillo isn't R1 anymore. Maybe Miller and Kirby, even though they're not as popular, and this is before Kirby was named an all-star, I was like, if these guys are a little bit more consistent and I have a little bit more confidence, in those two than I do Castillo. Castillo to me is kind of like the 3. And then you go Wu at the 4 and Gilbert at the 5. I mean, that's just the reality. I just trust Kirby and I trust Miller, more than I trust Castillo. And Castillo can bring the heaters, but I feel like he sometimes relies on the defense and the bats to come alive because he's got the A lineup. But I mean, if Luis had the C lineup, like what Wu has and Gilbert has, Castillo's record would be even shittier. So, I mean, the year that he had last year, I mean, he's still on a rock, but he doesn't give you 10 Ks as often as he did last year. It's like a lot of times he's not getting to that number, and we're still finding ways to win, even if he gets 0 to 3 Ks or 0 to 5. And we usually get the bats to turn alive. But, if you've been watching games on a consistent basis, or you're like me and you watch every game, it's very clear Miller and Kirby are better than Castillo and Gilbert, even though those guys at one point were a bigger name. But, stats don't lie. And, it's a feeling that us fans get, that if we can count on guys or not. So, Mike in the building, my boy. I missed you, bro. I think I'm going to do the NASCAR race tomorrow. Are you going to be able to hang out and watch it? Or do you have plans? Are you going somewhere? You got plans with the family? What do you got going on tomorrow? Because the Mariners play at 11, but I believe that race is on like 4:30 Pacific time. So then I could spend time with Paisley. And then I was thinking maybe we could do the race and watch the race tomorrow. It's Atlanta, so it's the best chance for Chase to win. And Ross Chastain has always finished very high, like in the top 3. So I think there's a very good chance we get Ross or Chase winning tomorrow. And that's very ideal for me. So that's, obviously you want Kyle Busch as your number one. But it would be really cool to see Chase kind of, get off the schneid a little bit and get that first win. So, yeah, there isn't always, I mean, for Kirby, I mean, like I said, but you don't watch every game. So, I mean, if you saw what he did last year, and we drafted him in the first round, but I mean, the equivalent is like, trying to think of like what he could be. The ceiling is, very, very high, for Kirby, like I said. And, we got to make sure that he stays healthy, but, him being the number one pitcher on the Mariners would not be shocking. Like, he pretty much is right now, besides Miller. I think Miller is the heater pitcher, who can throw then, 95, 98, 100 and just blow it past you. And then I feel with George Kirby, he's like Greg Maddux, but not as good, where he's all about finesse. He can throw it hard, but he usually throws it, in certain spots, and he's very good at that, and he's very consistent. So it's like different types of pitchers. Like, one person can be, throwing as hard as they can, and you're just getting those big strikeouts. You have the ability to get 8, 10, 12K. Kirby can as well, but he kind of does it in a different type of way and more of a finesse. And that's pretty rare in baseball. I mean, hell, if you get picked to the All-Star game, that's a pretty, even as an alternate, it doesn't matter. Big deal. There we go. Stole third, baby. There we go. Jose to third. Nice bag. Let's go. Nice job, baby. Nice job with that bag steal, baby. You're free tomorrow? Okay. Because like I said, I'll see how I feel and what I have to do with Paisley. I mean, usually I wake up at 6, 7 a.m. and we're already on our walk and, doing our thing and whatnot. But yeah, I might do the Mariner game first since it's only going to be a couple hours, from like 11 to 1:30. And then I think that'll give me a couple hours to rest and spend time with Paisley. And then I can do the NASCAR race at like 4:30 and we can hang out for a few hours and watch the Atlanta. And it's going to be on NBC broadcast, I assume. I can watch it on the Peacock Network, hopefully. National League 2, American League 0 in the Futures Game. Mariners got a center fielder and a catcher playing. A Julio clone and obviously Harry Ford, our future catcher. And we got George Kirby on the mic here on Fox. Obviously, we're down 2-0. JP Crawford in the box. Come on, JP. And the nice thing about like when you listen to certain guys talk and see their personality, his personality is, different than Miller or Castillo or Wu or Gilbert. Everyone's got their own kind of way that they do things. Um, I already knew as a first rounder and what I saw from him coming in, I knew that he could be a 1, 2, 3 at some point. And you just hope that he showed promise early. He did last year, and like I said, I feel that Julio got all the credit. There we go, 2-1, baby, nice hit, JP. All the love and credit ended up going to Julio last year, and it was well deserved. But Kirby deserved a little bit more talk from the media. They didn't give it to him, but since he's going to the All-Star game now there's no question everyone's going to know that how good George Kirby really is. Not only with pitchers in the American League, but overall. Like if you look at his stat line, it's pretty impressive for a second-year pitcher. He hasn't had this necessarily a slump, kind of like Julio. They're both still kind of underperforming. There's way more potential to still hit. And really, the only bad thing about Kirby is just the record, but it's not really all his fault. A lot of times, it's not getting any fucking run support. It's okay, Julio. 2-1 Astros. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Ty France. Come on, Ty. I don't think I don't know what the chances are of us sweeping the Astros or even winning 3 out of 4. Even though we won the first 2 out of 3 in Seattle and we won the first 2. But again, the magic number might be 5 to 6 runs tonight. And if we get that, we might be able to, Logan Gilbert's tomorrow and he had a complete game, which was nice. But, normally Logan gets pretty roughed up. So we'll kind of see how it all, plays out. Top of the third, 1-1 pitch. Inside corner for a strike. 1-2 count. Come on, baby. Let's go, Ty. Yeah, Kirby's well-spoken, very humble, likable guy. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's like kind of like a Greg Maddux, where he's not going to impress you necessarily with like 100 miles an hour, 102. He can still get it up there, 98, 99. But like I said, he's more of a spotter pitcher. But when he hits his spots, he's almost unstoppable, especially if you can get him to 8 to 10 Ks and we get some run support. I feel like when he's on, just like Miller, we can take on anybody in baseball and hang, or beat them. So, and I know, the Braves are great and the Rays, and the Rangers, we know those are the top 3 teams, but you never know. It could be a sleeper team that goes a little bit further this year, like the Orioles. They're very, very good. 1-2 pitch to first. Let's go, Ty. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, man. $5 holla. Always trying to support me when he can. I appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $5 holla. 95 to go. Let me know what you want to see, Mike. You want some Kyle Busch? I can get you Kyle Busch or whatever you're wanting. Let me know. Obviously, we got that race tomorrow in Atlanta, which will be fun. 2-2 pitch to France. Fouls it off himself. And we already know with Framber Valdez how good he is. So Just knowing that you're going to have to match up, and it's like we have to manufacture runs and get him out of there, hopefully by the sixth inning, so that way we can turn the game up on another level. But if he stays until like the seventh inning, then yeah, we're definitely losing. So hopefully we can just keep the confidence at a high level, which I feel it is. Wow. What a throw by Pena. My goodness. All right, Jeremy. All right, I see your defense. I ain't going to be a hater. Wow, running throw. That was very Derek Jeter-esque. All right, I see you. All right, we're going to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Astros, 0 for 1. Second baseman, Mauricio Dubon. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a run. Shortstop, Jeremy Pena. And batting third, 1 for 1 with a run and an RBI when he had a triple at the very beginning of the game. Right fielder, Kyle Tucker. I mean, it's nice to be able to have guys like Pena, and Tucker. So regardless of whatever happens to Altuve or Jordan Alvarez, obviously Alvarez more valuable than Altuve, but and then you start seeing Bregman and a lot of the other guys. I mean, the lower end of the lineup is kind of weak, but you could say that pretty much for almost every team, in Major League Baseball. And usually most people don't really have a great 7, 8, 9 hole. So okay. Oh, no worries. Any amount definitely helps, so that way I can survive. And I'm going to be going to obviously with a little bit of a change of scenery and a move. But again, everything should be good. Fast internet isn't going to be an issue. It's just about getting things kind of moved and settled in. And once that all happens, I'll be all settled, obviously, way before college football season starts. So I had the futures game on as well to kind of take a quick peek at the Mariners prospects. We have two of them, center fielder and Harry Ford, the catcher. So all right, let me go back. I turned it off for a second and take a quick peek. Last time I checked, it was 2-0 National. Let's see. Let me go there. Futures game. All right. Dubon. Woo. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Brian. Just can't be giving up too many big homers or anything. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Stros. Woo is a 5 hole. So it's like normally when you got the 5 hole and you got your last guy, kind of like the Marco Gonzalez, replacement, 6 rounder, no expectations. Got roughed up, but has been getting better in every start and has the ability to get 8 to 10 Ks every time he's out there. So that's pretty impressive for a guy that's young, just trying to be able to find himself in the major leagues. Come on, Woo. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, fall practice not that far away. Preseason football right around the corner. In August, even though they've cut the amount of games down, and then obviously with college football, I believe 7 weeks away. So we're getting there, and then we're going to end up being in the best time of the year. College football, NFL, wrestling is obviously 365 all year round, but then you get basketball, college basketball. You get October for baseball with the World Series and the playoffs, and then NHL. Like everything starts going September to like February. That's going to be the best time. Right to Gino to France, 1 away. Next up for the Stros, Jeremy Pena. Gold Glover. Can play great defense, and he's definitely their phenom. You got Jordan Alvarez, that's the home run hitter. Altuve is the ringleader, the cheater, right? Tucker is probably the best well-rounded player that gets slept on. Like, not only is he slept on the Astros, I think he's like slept on as far as the league as a whole. I like Pena and Tucker a lot, even though I'm a Mariner fan. Jordan Alvarez is amazing when he's healthy. Back to Gino, to France again, 2 away. No love for Altuve. That'd probably be the only player that I really could care less for. There's only one other player that I dislike more than Altuve, and it's probably Alex Rodriguez. And other than that, those are probably the only 2 that I really could give a shit about for the rest of my life. So, but other than that, I don't really got any issues with anyone else. Well, Chas McCormick now trying to fucking injure Ty France a couple games ago. Not on my good list. Tucker in the box. And like I said at the very beginning of the game, I put Wu and Tucker on the thumb. And usually I put a guy on the thumb on the opposing team for a guy that not only I like, but usually a guy that I think that's going to do really well in the game. Hopefully not too good. And he got a triple at his first at bat. So he's like too good to have too many quiet days in a row. He's got home run power. He can get single, double, triple. He's very, very well rounded. And he kind of had his coming out party last year. But even then, I don't really think people really give him the full respect that he deserves. He's one of the most valuable players in baseball, in my opinion. It just sucks that he's on the Astros. I mean, you put him on another team, he'd make a huge difference, kind of like a Freddie Freeman type of impact. He's there, Freddie Freeman, on the Astros. Good contact hitter, very patient in the box. Lefty. Like me, I like lefties. Yep. I mean, we'll see how everyone, obviously they talk about Michael Penix Jr. from UW and Caleb Williams from USC and Drake May, obviously at North Carolina, not in the Pac-12, but and there'll be a couple others, college football, guys that'll break out and, they'll become, in the draft conversation in a name. But Pac-12 definitely has some decent QBs. I don't even really put Bo Nix up there, but he's okay. Got him. 1, 2, 3. I'll take that. Nice job, Wu. All the hits going to Gino, to France. I'll take it. And we at least got a run, within the first 4 or 5 innings. So that's a good start. You don't want to get behind 4-5-0 when you're fucking playing someone like Framber Valdez, then you're fucked. He can't even come back. So I see you. All right, leading off for the Mariners in the top of the 4th inning, 0 for 1, DHing for Seattle, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting second, third baseman, 0 for 0 with a walk, Eugenio Suarez. And batting third, catching for Seattle, 0 for 1, Tom Murphy. Oh, baby. All right, let me go to the Futures Game if it's going to take a quick peek. It's like I never really used a lot of the apps. I usually had cable or satellite, but then having to cut back on certain things and then being able to use, Netflix and Hulu, like a lot of y'all do on a regular, and being able to go through some more programming and, and having the Amazon and Apple TV Plus and, kind of going through all the different options of the streaming. So some are worth, the amount, some maybe not as much, but, I definitely saw a few things that I wanted to catch up on. All right, looks like the National League Futures Game is still up 2-0 on the American League. All right, nothing new change on. They just went to a commercial break, and that's being played at T-Mobile right now. So, and usually a lot of the guys that are playing in the Futures Game will break out next year or the year after. Some will get called up this year, but not many. Most of them are going to be next year or the year after. But normally, you'll have quite a few, up and coming or stars that are playing in the game. All right, we're in the top of the 4th, baby. Let's go, Teoscar. Go, Teoscar. Be electric, baby. We need you. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, but I mean, he's not going to be an NFL star. I'm not a fucking idiot. You know, one thing I'm known for, and I wouldn't have as many subs or views or people supporting me, if I was an idiot, it was nice to see him like revitalize his career. But I don't think anyone on planet Earth, even Duck fans, think that he's going to be, something on the next level. Michael Penix Jr. has more upside as a lefty. We just got to get that accuracy and that completion percentage up so he can move up. Drake May from North Carolina might be the best pocket QB that we've seen in a number of years. And then Caleb is, some people are already, comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, which is a little ridiculous. He could definitely be a good two-way player. There we go. Nice double by Teoscar. Stand-up double. But we'll see where it goes. I mean, if Caleb wins the Heisman this year, would I be surprised? No. But again, sometimes winning the Heisman is a curse. You go back and look at who's won the Heisman in the last 25, 30 years. 70% of the people that win it end up being garbage. They don't end up being anything in the NFL unless you're blessed and you're like Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? But if you go back and look at the list, or you're a really, really good role player, like you're a phenom in college, Reggie Bush, and then you go to the Saints and you're a great role player, but no one ever says, oh my God, Reggie Bush, Hall of Famer. But he was the reason why they won. Obviously a big part of it, him and Jeremy Shockey. Your boy remembers. Stallions, yeah. I tried to catch up on a little bit of the XFL and USFL. I just really couldn't get into it. XFL, I watched the first 2 weeks, and then I watched the championship, and I watched a little bit of USFL, but not really like full games. I just too much other things going on that were a little bit more interesting for me. So, but I don't know. I mean, I know if you're a football fan, you might just watch everything. But which one do you like better? Do you like USFL or you like XFL better, Mike? I mean, obviously they're going to be lower than college football and NFL, but I think XFL started off strong and kind of lost steam as it went. But it's kind of normal. You're going to get hyped up to be able to watch it, and then if it's not a great product and you don't have good quarterbacks or you're not scoring enough points, people are going to lose interest unless you just love football like Mike. Tom in the building, what's good? Yeah, but that's me just being, honest and realistic. And then Michael Penix Jr. from UW, we already know that, he's got potential, but what is the potential? Like a Michael Vick-ish type of player. I don't know if anyone thinks Michael Penix Jr. is going to be good enough to, be a superstar. Like it'd be nice to have an awesome lefty that doesn't get hurt like Tua, that we could be like, oh my God, a lefty. We don't see too many lefties anymore in the NFL, but it would be really awesome if he pans out. Hell, I'd rather have Penix Jr. pan out rather than Bo Nix because I don't think Bo Nix has it in him. Good system player, but on the NFL, all he is going to be a second, third stringer. So that's just being real. But I imagine there's some Oregon fans that are delusional, thinking that Bo Nix is going to be like the next big thing. But they'll get a nice harsh of reality. When they find out when the Ducks end up finishing like fourth. There's going to be quite a few teams that USC, UW, Oregon State, all of them could be better than Oregon this year. So at least I'm realistic with, my teams and how I think people are going to do. I just appreciate greatness wherever it's at. So 2-1 pitch to Murphy. Outside, 3-1 count. Come on, Tom. Let's go, baby. City Connect, baby. Looking good. Murphy popped up. Damn it. Runners hold at first and second. And this is where we end up losing games a lot of times where you got guys on first and second. Then you get to the 7, 8, 9 hole. A.J. Pollock, Jose Caballero, Dylan Moore. I mean, what the hell are we supposed to get out of these three? Are we supposed to actually get something? I hope so. Because that could be the difference between us tying the game and leaving guys on. So we'll hopefully 7, 8, 9 hole is an absolute dog shit. But when you got Pollock and Moore in there, that's terrible. It's like, what, you want the guys to go 0 for 8? Like, way to give Wu a chance to win, you bastards. Like, I want to be able to see someone not get a Logan Gilbert lineup. Wu deserves better. I get you might be in the 4 or 5 hole, but why are you punishing Wu with Logan Gilbert's staff? I mean, I get it. Some guys need a break. And I'm not even really speaking of the Tom Murphy move for Cal. I like Tom with Wu, at catcher. But Pollock, Caballero, Moore. I mean, I guess the Caballero could be Colton Wong, and you're not going to get any hits there either. But you'll get better defense. So, I don't know. Well, I just hope that we can get something out of the 7, 8, 9 hole, or we're not winning today. Unless the top half of the order can make up for it. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. For me, I've been watching the Ducks, since I was a little kid, in the '80s. So it's like LaMichael James, D'Anthony, Thomas, Black Mamba. Even though we know Kobe's the original, right? Mariota, all these. Like, the only guy that really is gonna make a name for himself and be in the Hall of Fame and be actually legit is Justin Herbert. Like, that guy's got the body, he's smart, and once he leaves the Chargers or they actually get a good coach, that's when he'll actually make a Super Bowl, maybe lose, or get to an AFC championship, most likely lose. But he's got a good enough skills to, it's just the team is cursed. They have a shitty defense, a shitty head coach, horrible play calling, but they got good weapons on offense, Him, and then maybe like a Haloti Ngata on defense. And, but it's like, unless you're built, for the man's game, NFL, like if you're smaller and undersized, typically it doesn't work out for the Duck players, Like, you can be really athletic like LaMichael and D'Anthony and Mariota, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate to the NFL. And for some Duck fans, I had to tell, I was like, it's not going to work. And they kept calling me a liar and I'm an idiot. But, when you've been watching the NFL for as long as I have, and a lot of, sometimes being that undersized guy, and even Tyreek as a little guy, he's really ripped. He ain't like little like LaMichael. He's like little but extremely buff. So there's a difference. But we were hoping D'Anthony was going to be the Tyreek, Hill, but just wasn't meant to be. So, yeah, Pollock is in there but yeah. I mean, you might as well just chalk it up 0 for 4. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Moore's had like 1 hit all year, coming from the injury. I mean, it's like almost anybody would be better than those 2 guys. Hell, put Taylor Trammell in and Sam Haggerty in. At least those guys, Haggerty can run the bases and give us energy and swagger. And Taylor Trammell's not that very good either, but I have more confidence in those 2 guys than these 2, right? Sometimes you just got to be able to, look at the lineup. But again, you also want to give guys a chance to be able to earn their, confidence back. So, yeah. But then we also had, people, that are diehard Eagle fans. And I told them, when they played the Bucks, they weren't sold on Jalen. I'm like, some people can evaluate talent better than others. And, you could already tell with Jalen after getting benched for Tua in the championship game at Bama, the way he handled himself, then going to Oklahoma, being a boss. And then, even though they lost, well, they didn't have a true number 1 receiver yet, and the defense wasn't there. So, if you're an Eagle fan and you thought that Jalen's garbage because they couldn't beat the year that the Bucks won the Super Bowl, you don't really know football very much, And obviously, once they got A.J. Brown, kept building that roster, then you could really see what Jalen was going to be. But, just because you're a fan of the Eagles doesn't mean you know more than someone like myself that maybe isn't a fan of the Eagles, but I follow them and I study them maybe more than the average Eagle fan. So, sometimes you can see greatness ahead of time and other people can't. Other people just want to judge and speculate, but I knew that Jalen had a good shot, to be the guy. And I thought that he was a Dak 2.0. Now, Jalen is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And now he's probably Dak is a Jalen 2.0. It's flipped, because now Jalen is better. So Dak kind of hit the ceiling. And I don't know how much more, unless he gets an elite head coach or play caller, I don't really know how much better Dak is going to get. Facts. Yeah, but also you got to be able to have right pieces. Drafting Devontae Smith, and he's a small little wide receiver, a guy that's like 6 foot, And even though he won the Heisman, you expect him to take double teams and get the best corners in the league, and he's just going to dominate? No, he's going to struggle because he's more of a wide receiver too. So sometimes you have to know who your personnel is, and it's not just Jalen. You need to be able to have a better receiver, beef up the O-line, have a little bit more depth on defense. And even with that being said, the defense didn't show up and they fucking lost. So it shows you, defense held it down for a good chunk of the year, but they were non-existent again against the Chiefs, and you got beat. So defense wins championships, bottom line. There we go. 2-2, baby. 2-2. Yeah, and I don't think Dak is whack. I think Dak is actually one of the top 12 quarterbacks, but he doesn't have the same offensive line that he had when Zeke was a rookie. The offensive play calling typically is garbage. Kellen Moore had some promise, but when you run like a sneak and some dumbass play against the Niners, what do you expect to happen? Him to run for a 50-yard touchdown at the end of the game? So I feel that Dak has never really had the proper coaching. They got Dan Quinn on that side, so that side is good. And Jerry Jones is too much in the mix. But I think that, Dak, to me, he's always going to get hate because he's on the Cowboys, and people are going to hate on the Cowboys and the Patriots for different reasons. Patriots because of the cheating, Cowboys because in the media they've planted the seed that we're supposed to hate them because their fans are super passionate and all they want to do is go back in time to 92, 93, and 95. And a lot of Cowboy fans are delusional or think they're going to win the Super Bowl every year. And we know as fans that that's not going to happen. You either root for them to win or you root for them to lose and laugh. But bottom line, they still got good players on the team. Micah, Hall of Famer. Dak, pretty fucking solid. Most people would drool over a quarterback. Zeke has been going downhill. Pollard is much better. Amari Cooper's on the Browns now, so that's, not an option. CD's pretty good. Gallup gets hurt all the time. So, you got to be able to have a complete team. And when you got a guy like, Jerry Jones, kind of pulling the strings, you're never going to be successful unless they sell the team or he passes away. And that's facts. Well, Zeke was a product of the line that was in front of him, not necessarily his own pure talent. And Tony Pollard has been a better running back the last 2 years. So I've been saying that for a long, long time. But finally, they caught up to the idea of the lower name guy actually being better than the popular guy that's friends with Dak. Like, who gives a shit if he's friends with Dak? If you suck, you're not good. If you're going to be dancing too much and taking too many losses. I mean, shit, anybody can get scores off the half-yard line and the 1 yard line, you can hand it off there. But what about from the 20 to the 20, and who's a better, receiver? Who's going to not dance as much and go downhill? Who's a better running back? And then Pollard has been the guy for a couple years now. It's just that Jerry Jones and Dak, they've been holding on to something that, it probably took a lot of convincing, to break that apart. But if you want to be able to get further, you have to recognize the politics of the sport and not just go with your boy, go with the guy that's the best player. And that's been Pollard. So, yeah, Kellen Moore was awesome in college at Boise State. And he actually was a decent play caller until that bugaboo move against the Niners when they tried to call that ridiculous play at the end of the game. And then any head coaching spot that he had within a year or two went away because no one wanted to deal with that. Who in their right mind with McCarthy and Moore would call that kind of play? You expect Dak to run it for 50 yards and score? And sometimes one play call ruins your career. And apparently it did for Kellen Moore. Facts. Yeah, but again, like I said, sometimes people, see what they want to see. Football isn't necessarily all black and white. There's a gray area. And you got to be able to look deeper, with stats and everything. A lot of times people just look at little, ESPN shows or little graphics. But unless you're actually watching the games and being able to understand how a team runs, it's like you can have all these fancy pieces, with like Mahomes and Kelsey and running backs, right? But if you don't have gas in the tank, which is the offensive line and the D line, and they're not helping you, you're going to get a result like when the Bucs beat them and Mahomes didn't even throw one touchdown pass. Think about how ridiculous that is. How good of a defense has to be to make Mahomes not have one pass. We're not talking about Mahomes winning the game, but just to have one touchdown pass. And then what we saw last year. So it shows you some defenses are overrated. Eagles last year, right? They weren't the Rams with Aaron Donald. They weren't the Bucs when we played them. So unless you have Hall of Famers on defense, which they would argue, what about Fletcher Cox? What about Big Play Slay? I hear you, but what did you do in the Super Bowl? Not a lot. And if you want to win and you're going against Mahomes or someone elite, you have to get picks and sack lunches, and you have to win the line of scrimmage. And if you don't, you have absolutely no shot winning that game. And with that being said, they did have a shot. All the defense had to do was kind of play half of a game, and they couldn't even do that. And then now they're coming out, Chiefs and Eagles, saying, oh, the field was slippery. Well, it's not like the game was fucking 10-7. You guys scored in the fucking 30s. So that's a fucking dumbass thing to say. Yeah, guys were slipping. But the difference is the group that you don't hear talk, the Chiefs O-line, which was supposed to be the weakest part of that Super Bowl, ended up being the MVP of that Super Bowl. So, anyone can make excuses. Will the Eagles end up winning the Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Pretty likely that they get back there again and they could win. But it shows you if you go against Mahomes, you better pray, or Josh Allen, or whoever it is, Burrow, whoever you go against. The Hall of Fame quarterbacks are on the AFC. So the way that you end up winning on the NFC side, you're more well balanced and your defense is better. But if the defense doesn't show up, then you're going to get the result that you got last year, heartbreak. That's facts. Two, baby. Bottom of the fourth. 1-0. Count for woo. Got to find a way to get to 5-6, though. It's 2 ain't going to cut it. There we go. Nice catch, Moore. And also, when you look at NFL teams, it's a team aspect. You just can't have shiny pieces at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end and think, oh, everything's going to be good. Maybe the Eagles felt that way. We know the offensive line is stacked. Their D-line was pretty fucking good throughout the year. You got all these Georgia players as well. They drafted them last year, drafted them this year. But, are they going to make a difference? Secondary needs to be much, much better for the Eagles, too. Front line getting a little old, and then the secondary needs to be better. Especially when you're going to be going against, whoever it ends up being, the Niners, the Eagles, whoever ends up making it. It's like if you're not going to be able to defend Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, or whoever the hell it ends up being, you're not going to be able to go point for point with those teams. There you go, JP. All right, here we go. 2-2 game. Mariners. All right, let me go to the Futures game now. I had it. Let me take a quick peek again. All right, where is it? Peacock Network. All right, leading off for the Mariners in the top of the 5th inning, 1 for 2 with an RBI, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Come on, baby. We need you today. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, first baseman, Ty France. Let's go, baby. All right, no worries. Well, he already has. We've already seen it, in the regular season and whatnot. We've seen it. And, the Bengals obviously had a terrible offensive line, and they almost won the Super Bowl with a terrible offensive line. You know what I mean? So Burrow is going to be more accurate. Like, I know a lot of people love Josh Allen, but with big risk, you get reward, but you also get mistakes. And so I think with Allen, he's got a really strong arm, but he's kind of reckless with the football. And I would rather have a guy that protects the football a little bit more. So for me, it's always going to be Mahomes and Burrow over Allen. I know Allen is a fantastic player, but until they end up getting a stud running back, I've been saying this for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. If you don't want to waste Josh Allen's tenure in Buffalo and you actually want to be able to get a Super Bowl, right, and break the curse and whatnot, you're going to have to get a stud running back, and you got to improve that defense and that offensive line. You know what I mean? It's just not good enough. You got names, but it just seems like they have too many injuries throughout the year, and then they rely on having these average running backs, and they go through 3 or 4 of them. But no one can take the pressure off Allen when he has that 3 interception game, and the defense can't do their part either. And so then you end up having 3 holes: O-line, defense, and a running back that can't be consistent. So, it is what it is. You want to be able to live and you learn, but it seems like they continue to do the same shit over and over and over. So. Yeah, NFC is absolutely weak. And then you also have teams that will be not necessarily maybe Super Bowl contenders, but playoff contenders. Saints, Lions, Vikings, Seahawks. But it's very shitty. And there's not a lot of, there's first tier Eagles and Niners, second tier, which will be like Giants, Cowboys, Seahawks, Vikings, Lions, you know what I mean? But it's like a lot of those don't necessarily maybe feel like Super Bowl, but maybe playoffs, but it's very, very weak. But there's always going to be surprises, worst to first, third to second, third to first. So we'll see where it goes. But, it's very clear the NFC is dog do. It's trash. It's not good, But, depending on what kind of quarterback play that you can get with the Niners and what the Eagles can do with that team, there's definitely a chance for them to get to an NFC championship game again, or possibly another Super Bowl this year or next year. So they don't even need a number one O-line. Shit, if you give Burrow a top 15 O-line, it might be over. Top 10 O-line. I mean, hell, if you can almost win a Super Bowl with a garbage O-line and barely lose, it shows like how good, the players are, the coaching staff, the defense, getting a lot of, kind of maybe outcasts from other teams, and they're finding ways to be able to get it done. And Burrow has a quick release, but even with a quick release, you still are going to need time. And a big part of their success is also Ryan and Mixon being able to take the pressure off, and having 3 really good receivers too. When you end up having T. Higgins and company, Tyler Boyd, avoid the Boyd, and Jamar Chase, that fucking helps too. Game's tied up 2-2. Julio in the box. Let's go, J-Rod. Two one count to Julio. Come on, baby. Top of the 5th. 2-1 pitch. Chopped foul towards third base. 2-2 count. Now, again, we won the first 2 out of 3 in Seattle, and we won the first 2 games already. So, I mean, this would be an amazing win if we can squeak this off. And then we got Logan Gilbert pitching tomorrow. So, I think the league, and then we got an all-star break, and then we got a 10-game homestand. So there is a chance where if we keep winning here, we could end up getting on a 10 to 12-game win streak. We got some favorable matchups at home after the all-star break. And if Julio wins the home run derby, there'll be a little bit more excitement, post all-star game in Seattle. He's got to go against Pete Alonso in that first round, which is not good. You know what I'm saying? Got Julio with the strikeout. He's not happy. But little things like that could make a huge difference for us. Yeah, I think they'll struggle, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being better than Tennessee or Indy. I don't know. That division isn't very good. And, NFC South is terrible too. But it looks like it's like kind of like the Saints and Jags are the cream of the crop, and then the rest of the teams, Panthers, Falcons, Bucks are going to be shitty, and Colts, Colts, Texans, and Titans look like they probably won't be very good either. So, I mean, there's going to be improvement, but, I still think it's going to be pretty bad for those 2 divisions. France chopped off. Foul, 0-2 count. Because they're fucking stupid. And they think that, just because Wemby is in the NBA, yeah, we're going to pay attention. But then when you watch him play, this isn't LeBron James. Like, everyone's like, Wemby could be bigger than LeBron. No. Not bigger than LeBron, not bigger than Kobe. Nice try. I mean, he's a big player, and he'll learn the game. But it shows you this social media era. It's fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Like I like social media, and I love being able to do my dreams and being able to do my goals and dreams and to be able to make my legacy here. But I mean, for every good thing that we have on social media, there's like 100 bad things. You get trolls and you get people blowing shit out of proportion. Um, he was lost out there. You know what I mean? Will he end up being a Hall of Fame player? Probably. I mean, when you're being fucking mentored by Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Popovich, and fucking Tony Parker and Ginobili on the regular. I mean, for him not to be in the Hall of Fame one day, the only way that he doesn't have that happen is injuries to his body because of his frame. But other than that, it'll be just on him. So Saints, yeah, they're going to be good. They'll end up winning the division for the next couple of years until the Bucks get their quarterback. If we end up getting Caleb Williams or Drake May or Michael Penix Jr. But it's going to be a time where you're probably going to be able to go 6-0 or 5-1 in the division for the next couple of years. But I mean, I'm hoping that the Bucks lose every game. I know the fucking Cardinals are going to be terrible. And would they decide to move on from Kyler and just say fuck Kyler and then pick like Caleb Williams? So we'll see what happens. Bucks will probably be, somewhere between second, third, and fourth pick. So we'll be really, really bad, probably 3-7 wins, but I'm hoping that we have closer to 3 than 7. So yeah, it's just I don't know. The NBA is the way they do everything, changing the All-Star game, with the format, Team Giannis, Team LeBron, Team Idiot. Like, why would you do that? Eastern Conference, Western Conference, rookie, sophomore game, USA, international, not this like 3-on-3 bullshit that they got. Like, whoever's running the NBA is catering to these young kids, and it shows. You have a terrible idea of what you think entertainment is. Go back to your roots with the hardcore fans, that know what basketball is, and you'll actually make it better not only for the young people but for the OGs as well. Go back to what wasn't broken. You're trying to do things for fucking 10 to 15-year-olds that don't even give a shit. They're not even watching. They fumbled the bag big time. Same thing with the Pro Bowl. Garbage. There's not a lot of festivities that are worth watching, but if you're going to watch one, Home Run Derby and the MLB All-Star Game is good every year. You're never going to be disappointed. But on NHL, NBA, NFL, you'll always get disappointed. But I think NHL is probably second best. But I heard a lot of NHL fans complain about the format, of what they did this year. But normally that is going to be the number 2. So it's like you're really trying to make people not watch, and they just feel, well, Miller, Scoot, Wemby, that's going to get people to watch. But as we, watch, preseason was garbage, regular season was garbage, playoffs got better. You know what I mean? But again, if you don't have Giannis or the Joker, it seems like you're almost fucked. Popped up to Julio, one away. And like I said, NBA used to be my favorite, and it's almost unwatchable to me. Will I still keep up and read and watch games? Yeah, I will. But there's a lot of things I enjoy more. I enjoy NHL more, MLB more, NASCAR more. I mean, how terrible do you have to be when I like all of those things over you? It's like the only thing that the NBA is better than is what, college basketball during the regular season, and that's not saying anything. It's like I'm always going to have NFL, college football, and wrestling at the top. And then I got a lot of love for NHL and NASCAR and MLB, but I don't know if NBA will ever, be in my rotation ever again. But will I still do some content? Yeah, because I'll be forced to, But unless you're a hardcore NBA fan or a college basketball fan, I mean, if you're like just an average fan, it's I don't think I'm saying anything that's not true. It's hard to watch unless you're a fan of like the Warriors or the Celtics, or something like that. Then you're fine. Like then it's enjoyable. But for a majority of fans, it's like you miss a few games on the NBA side, your life isn't ruined. No, nobody on base. And I can hit you with. I can hit you with the stat page if you need to see anything. I got all the camera angles, man. I got you. The Hardys in the body. Yeah. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Drake May from North Carolina? I know that I know Arch Manning was kind of criticized a little bit. You know, like I said, they have so much talent, you know, in a lot of these places, and you know, especially if you have the name, you know, Manning. But it's going to be exciting to kind of see how things play out. Yeah, but again, but you have things that you like that some you know you like NASCAR. Sometimes people don't like NASCAR. You like you know college baseball and college basketball, college sports. You know, watching Bama. You know, like I said, I'm just speaking for the rest of people that are out there. I mean, if you're hardcore, there's nothing wrong with it. It's cool. You know, also you like XFL, USFL. The average person could give a shit. You know, so it's just like you know some sports are going to be more popular than others, but it's also cool to follow some things that may not be as popular nationwide, but if it's something that you enjoy, yeah, you know. And it all depends if you have a team that you're watching. Like for you, if it's Bama sports, yeah, you know what I mean. But if you weren't an Alabama fan at all, then maybe you wouldn't like it as much. You know what I mean? It just depends on your love of the school and if you're watching all the sports associated with that program. But I think most people, you know, if you took a poll and asked, like, you know, as far as popularity and what people watch, I don't think a lot of people are invested in, you know, XFL, USFL, college basketball. NBA is popular, but just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. Just like a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's a great product. Sometimes, you know, you get a product that's overhyped that's not really that enjoyable. So unless you're getting like Giannis out there or, you know, Steph Curry or whatever, then that's different. I like March Madness, but yeah, I don't really enjoy. You know, I mean, if it's like a top matchup like Kansas is playing, you know, I can enjoy that. But 0-2 pitch spikes it into the dirt, 1-2 count. So, are you going to get back to going to the Natty or what? Is it Georgia going to be still the king of the crown and you know still going to be the top dog? Or are you going to take the crown from them? Are we going to get Bama with a championship this year? How do they look as far as like the spring game and the recruits? I mean, we obviously know they recruit better pretty much than anyone, but it's just a matter of getting past Georgia or that other team. Gino to first. There we go. Good job, Woo. Only 3 Ks for Woo, but I'll take it. But Framber's only got 5, so we're in the game. It's 2-2. We have a shot. All right, let's go to the top of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a run. Teoscar Hernandez. Nah, 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 nah. Batting second, Eugenio Suarez. Third, Tom Murphy. Come on, baby. I got to check up on my pup. Defense looks good. Oh, good. How's the running back room look? You got another Derrick Henry in the making, or someone like that, or Mark Ingram, something like that. All right, let me go check up on my pup here. All right, I'm back. Just wanted to make sure that my pup was good. Framber's still out there. The Oscar popped up. How to play. Come on, Teoscar. Chop foul. I'm really surprised that we are like right in this game. It shows you Wu is improving, but it's like we're not intimidated by anybody anymore. It's like, you can win 2 out of 3 against the Rays, and they might be a World Series team, just like with the Rangers and the Braves. We're doing pretty good against the like upper echelon. It's like, obviously anyone that goes to New York, you're going to have problems. Like we're seeing that stat that Elliot and a few other people brought up. Cubs won their first game in New York ever, like yesterday. Ever? Like they never have won there in the old Wrigley, old Yankee Stadium. New, they've never won one time in like a billion years. I don't know. Some things is like too hard to believe, but what's the best part of the roster? The strongest, like the defensive side, the O line, quarterbacks. Like what room is the best right now? Running back room, I assume, is going to be one of the top things on the team this year. All right, come on, Gino. Two one pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-1 count. Let's go, baby. Valdez, 3-1 pitch. Chopper towards third. Fair. Got it. Bregman with an amazing throw. 2 away. Wow. What defense by Bregman there. All right, I'll give you some love. I'm not a hater. I want the good juju for the Mariners, so I don't need to just complain about them 24/7. They make a good play, I'll give them some recognition. All right, come on, baby. Let's go, Tom. City Connect, baby. 1-0 count to Tom. Come on, Tom. Come on, baby. Come on. Someone's got to step up. Who's it going to be? Defense all over, which is normally a given, and then the running back room, awesome. Going to be able to beat Georgia this year, though? Georgia ain't winning the championship again, are they? 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count. Padres and Mets, biggest disappointment. That's a no-brainer. I said Cardinals as well. But the Cardinals didn't have the pitching, though. It's like Padres had the pitching, but no hitting. And the Mets, pitching is normally halfway decent. Sometimes the hits aren't there. It's just alarming when you got big names like Machado, Tatis, and Soto, and you still can't get it done. But sometimes it's more than just being a name like Soto. Soto to me is overrated. Like he's a big name, but shit, give me Machado all day. Give me even Tatis cheating ass. He's better. There we go, Tom. Yes, sir. There we go, baby. City Connect. Nice job. Next up, left fielder today, A.J. Pollock, who Normally doesn't do shit. It's like him, Caballero, and Dylan Moore. It's like I don't want to go 0 for 12 in the 7-8-9 hole when we have a game where we're 2-2. So don't be surprised if we end up substituting Pollock or Moore sometime in, I would say, the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. If we can get anybody else in there, maybe Jared Kelenic, get him to DH in there, and take a couple swings. Colton, you can't have Colton Wong come in. Haggerty, I don't, they don't really play him either, but maybe we'll get Jared Kelenic in for Dylan Moore at some point, or AJ Pollock. Maybe AJ Pollock because that's the natural position left field. He took his spot, so we'll get Kelenic in for Pollock in an inning or two, and maybe that'll be the difference. Unless we can actually get something here. Daniel in the building, what's good? But it's just kind of cool to get like recognition. We know we're not very good, or we haven't played very good. The starting pitchers, records don't reflect on how good we are. The team has been hitting like 230, as a team, which is absolutely atrocious for the talent that we have. But again, our 7-8-9 hole have been terrible all year. It took us 60 games to figure out who the fuck the DH was and Mike Ford. And the pitching staff hasn't been as good as it normally has been. Castillo and Gilbert are no longer the 1 and 2. Now it's Miller and Kirby. And then we had Wu come up. So there's a lot of changes, but I do think that we can get hot after the break, and we've already started to get kind of hot here. We go into the break, All-Star game. Julio wins the home run derby over Pete Alonso in the first round and wins it all. American League wins the All-Star game. Boom, 10 games set at home. We win a bunch of them, and maybe we can catch up to the Astros and the Rangers and maybe fight, for a spot at the end with the Blue Jays and the Astros for that one of those last spots. So, Pollock chop foul. But out of all the teams that are kind of floating, that are, not really been playing the greatest baseball that could make that, move, it's definitely the Blue Jays, in my opinion, and the Mariners, just like last year, but except that there's other teams that are better, like the Orioles. The Orioles are the Blue Jays and Mariners of last year. They're the real deal. So we're not going to be able to be as good as them, but I'm hoping that, things can play out in our favor. I would really love for us to make the wild card, but I don't know if it's possible. Damn it. Popped up. Left it stranded. But we're still 2-2. And again, with Wu pitching, a 6-rounder, he's a 5-hole pitcher. This is surprising. In most cases, we would be down right now 5-2, 6-2. So for it to be tied and have a garbage 7-8-9 hole, a terrible lineup. Like everyone else gets an A lineup. Kirby, Miller, Castillo. This is a C lineup. This is usually what Logan Gilbert gets, nothing. And he was able to get a complete game and get kind of back on track. So I don't know. Hopefully we can win this, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, I'm going to go to the Futures game to see if it's still on. Yeah. $5. Let's get to a hundo. 95 to go. Oh, wow. 5-0 National League against the American League. So they had Harry Ford and we had a Julio clone, but it's in the bottom of the 6th now, and the Futures game played at T-Mobile. And a lot of these guys will be, names in about a year or two for your favorite team. And National League is walking away with it. Wow. And you can tell some of these guys look really, really young, too. They look like 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. Number 1 overall prospect in the game, number 1 overall pick, Jackson Holiday, Orioles. Damn, T-Mobile really looking nice out there. All the chickens, all the hatching. JP Massey on the mound for the Pirates. He's played A and single A and A plus. So do they not do single A, double A, triple A? Do they call it different now? What is it? What is A plus ball? I thought it was always single A, double A, triple A, Major League Baseball. Have they changed it recently? Or is that what they call like double A now is A plus league? I'm unfamiliar. Like Framber Valdez is out. So time for us to be able to come back. Wu hasn't given up anything since Valdez had 6 Ks. Wu only 3 Ks, but I mean, he didn't give up those big homers like he did in the previous 2 or 3 starts where, we would be, needing 5 or 6 runs to win. So he's steadily showing that he can win in different ways as well. Yeah, but what does that mean though? Oh, I got to plug in my keyboard here. Keyboard died. My keyboard died. Get him. Wide throw. Wow, most home runs in history before the break, the Braves. Jeez Louise, Atlanta. Like I told people at the very beginning of the year, Atlanta is the best team in baseball. Like plus minus differential. Sometimes the Rays and the Rangers might have higher numbers, but I just think with the experience, a nice collection of young and old. It's kind of like the Braves World Series to lose. Now, if the Rangers made it, could they win? Of course. They got Bochy from the San Francisco Giants, right? So he's bringing all his knowledge there. And if the Tampa Bay Rays win, would we be that shocked? No. But I just feel like Atlanta seems like the powerhouse team, and the Rays and Rangers are right there. But when it comes to experience, we've seen the Rangers and Rays both make World Series in the last 20 years. But do we really think that they could beat the Braves in 7? I don't know. Kind of feels like the only team that can beat the Braves this year is the Braves, and it would be injuries that would hold them back. Or if they just get beat by a team like the Phillies last year, and they get upset. But it doesn't seem like the Dodgers or the other teams are really on the Braves level in the National League. Woo with another K. Fucking my guy, Brian. Woo! Let's go, baby. College woo. All the fucking woos. Let's go. Lots of potential. I mean, he's so good, and even as like a 5. Like I shit, put him at the 3 or the 4. Like I like him that much. Like I said, I don't care what other teams are going to want to offer, for Kirby or Miller or Wu, but those guys, untouchable. Shit, I'd rather give up, Castillo and Gilbert than give up those 3. I'm not even lying because I love Castillo and he's our rock from last year, but just to see the potential in those 3 guys moving forward, no, and sometimes injuries, make things happen. Because imagine if Robbie Ray and Marco played the whole year, then we'd have no Wu, and we have no idea Bryce Miller is Bryce Miller. So you have a chance of getting promoted to double A if you're high single A. All right, no problem. Appreciate your support with your dono. Thank you, man. Hopefully that'll lead to a few more before the stream's over. Appreciate you, Mike. I'll be doing NASCAR tomorrow, so I'll see you for NASCAR tomorrow. I believe, is it on NBC tomorrow? Sarah, what channel is the race on? Is it on NBC like it was last week, so I can watch it on Peacock or no? Because that'll be the only way I can watch it if it's on there. Because usually they do Fox for the first half of the year and NBC for the second half, right? USA. Is USA linked with NBC? Am I going to be able to watch it on the Peacock network or no? Yeah, because if I don't have access, then I can only watch it because it's not going to have it like on some of the streaming sites. They only do UFC, boxing, and a lot of the other sports. Woo, pitches high, walked him. First walk of the day in the 6th. I'll take that. Love it. It's all about having an opportunity, to get up there. And again, if Marco Gonzalez he doesn't get hurt, we have no Woo. If a Robbie Ray is healthy all year and pitching 500 ball, which he would have been, we have no Bryce Miller. So sometimes, guys getting injured is a blessing. And I'll let you know tomorrow, Sarah. But like I said, I don't know. Probably, just the way that things have been going. If I'm going to spend all day and not, hang out with Paisley, it has to be, worth the time. So probably I'll watch the Mariner game with Paisley, but we'll probably not stream it, and then we'll just stream later in the day so you can do things that you need to do too, and then we'll just all get together around 4 and watch the Atlanta race, and we'll see if Chase or Ross Chastain gets the dub. Stolen base by Tucker. He's been really the guy for them. He had that triple early on, and I don't know. It's like sometimes I get these ESP things. I'll put them on the thumb, and then things happen. I really want to watch that Atlanta race too. I want Chase to get off the schneid. He's not going to win the championship, but just to be able to get the monkey off the back so people remember his name again, that he is one of the best, but it shows you once you get out of a rhythm, it's very hard to get back, and it's not just, Larson and William Byron doing better. It's a lot of guys, are racing on a very high level. Never can count out Joey Logano or Kyle Busch as OGs, and Byron and Larson look good. And I really like my boy Ross Chastain a lot. Popped up. Nice quality 6 innings from Brian Wu. Give up some runs early on with Tucker, nothing since. So it shows you as a 5 spot, he actually is pitching as if he's the 3rd best in the rotation. He's pitching as if it's like Miller 1, Kirby 2, or Kirby 1, Miller 2, Wu 3, Castillo 4, Logan Gilbert 5, or if you want to put Castillo 3, Wu 4, Gilbert 5, fine. But I like his confidence and his swagger. There's something about him, for being maybe just underappreciated, and like, oh, he's not going to be really that good. And like I said, we already know Marco's kind of at the end of his career, and Robbie Ray, we got fleeced by the Blue Jays in that deal, and we almost got fleeced with the Oscar. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how it all plays out. Let me go back to the Futures game here real quick. All right, next up for the Mariners, 2 for 2 with a run in an RBI, Jose Caballero. Batting next, right fielder Dylan Moore. I assume that will replace Dylan Moore. At least I would at some point. And batting third, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Oh, Flavor Town. Man, anything Gordon Ramsay, I'm always going to watch that. Or Guy Fieri. It's like Gordon Ramsay can literally put out a show every couple months, and yeah, I mean, it kind of makes me want to be in the kitchen more, to be very honest. Like being able to cook is a good skill to have, regardless if you're a man or a woman. Still 5-0 National League. They're interviewing a Cardinal player at the moment, or they were. Top of the 7th, 5-0 National League over the American League in the Futures Game on the Peacock Network. Was hoping the American League was going to do a little bit more. Mariners got 2 players there. Well, fleecing based off the money and is bringing him in. It's like you could be a Cy Young with that team, but I don't think anyone ever thinks that he's going to be a Cy Young winner ever again. I mean, I hope he is, but Like I said, for him to be able to, if he ends up going to another team, no one on the Mariners is going to care. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already, almost in his face right there. Jesus. Good thing Jose got out of the way. Squared up for the bunt, almost got hit in the face. And at times, Robbie can be pretty good, as a pitcher, but obviously that big home run by Alvarez and just, I think he just lacks the confidence overall. And sometimes once you lose it, it's hard to get it back. And I hope he does, but I just don't know if he's a fit for this team. But we already paid him so much money, so he pretty much is stuck with him, for a while. So, but I don't know where he fits in the rotation at this point. Because, I mean, the best that I could think of is the 5 spot, but I mean, I don't even know who I would want, and in that case with him and Gilbert. So, oh, you're good. 2-2 count. I don't know. We just are used to making bad moves in free agency. The Mariner organization gives away talent like it's nothing, and we usually overpay traditionally and make the wrong move. I mean, it's like Robinson Cano. Let's give you 20 years for $1 billion. It's like, you already knew he wasn't going to complete that contract. And, it's one thing when you're on the Yankees, but, I thought that was, you decided to spend money for once, but it's like you spend money for the wrong guys. You know what I mean? And then you let talent go, like, when you don't realize how good it is, like Omar Vizquel or Adam to the Orioles. I mean, there's many pieces that we've given up that it's like they end up turning into an all-star or Hall of Famer or a very, very good player if you just recognize what you had, Just Mariners frustration, man. Cabanero, see you later. Struck him out. Oh, gosh. Veritek. I mean, I don't know. That would probably be a good list to come up with, like, the 5 biggest blunders that the Mariners have made. Either that we had someone on our team in the farm system, or they played on the team for like a year, and then we just gave up on them, and then they ended up being like amazing after. Sometimes that's coaching. Sometimes that's just going to a better team and a better scenario. Because, Seattle, for years, we've always been kind of the trading block. It's like we have good players here and there, and then once it's time for a team to be able to win a championship, who do they call? Seattle. And then they pluck all our good players. We're like a major league farm system. That's how it was. And then all of a sudden the Yankees call, or the Dodgers call, or whoever. Oh yeah, sure, here. And then we give them a good piece, and we get dog shit in return. Or if we do get something in return, it doesn't work out. So. But I feel like we're starting to kind of, turn the page and turn the corner a little bit. See, you got all the names. What's the worst one though? Omar Vizquel? I mean, there's a couple big ones. There goes Kelenic. Adam Jones? I mean, I could give a shit about A-Rod, you know what I mean? But there's a couple that were like, man, like what could have been if we were just a little bit more patient. But when you're a dumb organization and you make dumb moves, and, DePoto probably should go, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I feel like we make okay moves, but sometimes I feel like it's kind of like, he kind of has a wait and see approach. But we need to get guys that, are more patient in the box. Like, I'd rather have like, lower names, like no name guys, Mike Smith. But if he can be a contact hitter and be a good player, let's get those guys. You don't always have to bring in names. Like AJ Pollock, I already knew that was going to be a disaster. Colton Wong can't fucking hit, but I love his defense. But out of the guys that we brought in, Teoscar was really the only one that we knew that would be a good addition overall. Everything else has been kind of like, let's wait and see approach. Excited. We're still at 2-2 though. 3-1 count for Abreu on the mound. Who's your favorite underrated player on the Mariners, Lauren? Because I know you probably you're up there in Canada as well and whatnot. You watch a lot of the Blue Jay games up there too, or no? I mean, like most of the Canadian fans I interact with, or most of them are Blue Jay fans. But some people in Canada are Mariner fans. We get people from Canada and then Alaska, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, California, Arizona, kind of in that range. And you'll get some in the Midwest if they used to live in the Pacific Northwest, or if they just like someone or had like a Griffey thing going on when they were a kid. Julio in the box, 0 for 3. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Top of the seventh, 1-0 count, 2 outs, 2-2 game. Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J Rod. Just swing, swing, swing. I feel like it's like Happy Gilmore out there. All he does is just fucking swing like he's trying to hit a golf ball 500 yards. Like, dude, it's not in a fucking par three. I mean, like, we just like relax a little bit in the box. It's like the number of times you're going to see him not swing at 4 pitches in a row and get walked, or have a 3-0 count is a handful of times in a year. They're doing the wave in Houston. They're distracted. Yeah. Well, I think the Blue Jays and the Mariners are very close, as far as like how our teams are built and, for the future. They obviously with Vlad Jr. and, Bo Bichette, they got a nice little squad, and like I said, I see a lot of similarities in the Blue Jays and Mariners, not just because we played last year, but just like we're the underdogs. And, we know Houston and the Yankees are normally up there, and now you have the Rays and the Rangers. So everyone will always be sleeping on Toronto and Seattle. But eventually, I would not be shocked if we see a Seattle or Toronto, in an ALDS or ALCS, or maybe even a World Series in the next, who knows, 10 to 15 years. Maybe the Blue Jays or the Mariners might make it. I hope both make it. So, but you never know. And then we got the Orioles now, kind of being an up and coming team too. So we'll see where it goes. Okay, Griffey Edgar, Randy Johnson. Yes. Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, like on my desk here, I mean, I have all kinds of the old Mariner baubles from different events and whatnot. But yeah, obviously I, grew up with the Griffey and Randy Johnson, Edgar. Those are always going to be my guys. Then I had to wait a long time to get Ichiro. Then we had to wait another like 20 years. And then now we got, Julio, and it's nice to have him. But then we're seeing the pitching maybe being some of the best collectively that we've ever seen. So, all right. Well, I hope you feel better. Good job, Brian. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 hits, and everything was early on. Everyone's giving him like hugs and everything. That's awesome, man. I love seeing that type of love in the dugout, and that's for a guy that's number 5. That Marco was doing really really well before he got hurt too. So we'll see if Justin Topa doesn't blow this game here. Oh, really? Yeah, that's like the only player that I think Mariner fans are kind of like, meh, you know. because obviously, a Hall of Fame talent, and then obviously decided to cheat later on in his career and whatnot. But yeah, very cool. I have a hard hat from '89-'90, the old Seattle, blue, the dark blue with the yellow S, and wore it when I was a kid when I would play catch with my dad, and then I had it lost for like 20, 30 years, and my dad just found it, last year. There's a little bit of scratches on it because it's like a kid's hard hat, with a little lining in the inside, but still fits. I can still wear it and whatnot. It's just kind of a cool item. I might take it to Seattle and try to get someone to sign it. Get like a silver Sharpie and have them sign the bill on the front of it. It's kind of a cool piece. I should have. I don't know if John's worthy of that hat. I mean, it's a lot of sentimental, stuff, especially if you have stuff from that era. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, when you meet Ken Griffey Jr. when you're 7 years old, your life has changed forever. Period. Pollock, one away. Man, I hope Topa doesn't ruin this. I mean, obviously, Wu did everything that he could, and normally we need like 5 or 6 runs to win a game. I'll take a 3-2 win if we get it. Oh, 2 count. Scott Service and John Smoltz. Wow, look at that. Was that 1985? Grounder to JP. See you later. Bye. 2 away. Nice job, JP. Good defense, as usual. Jokes in the box. Pitches outside, 1-1 count. Come on, baby. We got to find a way, especially if he did that well. We have to be able to try to get Wu some wins. You just can't be pitching great all the time and just not get the dub at the end. Or at least, obviously we're tied, so not necessarily the dub, but you just want to be able to get that recognition that you're working on your game and you're getting better and better. So wow, Topa! What a catch. Little line drive action. Look at this. Right back to Topa. Whoop! Right into his mitt. Unbelievable. Um, well, obviously, Root Sports is exclusive for us out here. So, all right, let me check on the Futures game to see if it's still going or not. All right, end of the 7th inning. We're going to the top of the 8th. Fucking win this shit. All right, leading off for the Mariners in the top of the 8th, 0 for 3 with a K. First baseman, Ty France. Batting second, DHing for Seattle, Teoscar Hernandez. And batting third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Wow, double play right there for the National League team. Still 5-0. They got Raul Ibanez out there, and that's the game, a 5-0 shutout. So they had Ibanez on one side and then Harold Reynolds on the other. Oh, I was going to say, who else is out there? All right, I'm going to turn that off now. Cool to be able to see some of those guys at T-Mobile. Definitely excited for the home run derby and the All-Star game for sure. Oh for 3 with a K. Come on, Ty. Come on, Ty. Hector Neris in for the Astros. Got to find a way. I mean, like I said, we've started to kind of heat up. And you know, as long as we can stay above 500 instead of hovering right at 500 or below. But we do have a nice home stretch after the break. So I think, like I said, what we do in these next 2 games, and if Julio can win the home run derby and beat Alonso in that first round and win it all, and then play good in the All-Star game, and we can build off that momentum of having the All-Star game in Seattle for the first time in 20 plus years since Ichiro's rookie year in 2001. I definitely think it's possible for us to rip off, maybe 8 to 10 consecutive wins, possibly. Oh, we just hit Ty France. Or did that hit the ump? Who did that hit? Did that hit Ty and the ump? Is he okay? Ump got shaken up there. Let's look at this pitch again. Oh, right in the mask. It like ricocheted off like the France's elbow, and then underneath it, like almost to the, like when you have like the Adam's apple and like your chin, like the mask goes down a little bit, but sometimes they'll still get hit pretty hard, and you'll see those guys. Like I don't know. I would assume you'd probably be wanting to wear some kind of padding around your neck because the vibration of that mask, especially if a 95, 100-mile-an-hour ball bouncing off a bat and ricocheting, or off a body part like an arm, it's not going to feel good. Hopefully that ump is okay. We already know umps are fucking terrible in Major League Baseball. Most in the MLB, Ty France, he's been hit 16 times. It's bullshit. That's why he hasn't been able to get fucking homers up. Entering All-Star game in Seattle, 2001 Mariners, we were 63-24. What the fuck? This year, 44-43. Big difference. 8 All-Stars in 2001. We have 3. And obviously, we were first place in the West. And we were batting 283 as a team compared to 234 right now. But that is insane. That is fucking insane and how good we were. We should have probably won the World Series or at least got there that year. But, we played the Yankees, and the Yankees, from 96 to 2000, I mean, the Yankees were like the team. It's like championship, Jeter, and, Bernie Williams and Mariano Rivera and all those motherfuckers. So very unfortunate, but it's all good. We'll find a way. You got to lose before you win. But that was probably the best collective team that we've had in a long time. I mean, 8 All-Stars? Jesus. And we didn't even have Griffey on that team. That was, when we shipped Griffey off to the Reds. And I remember being so skeptical, too. I'm like, oh, Griffey's gone. But then I saw Ichiro, and I was like, ooh. I was like, this guy could be really special, like All-Star, and be one of the best hitters within the first 3 years already, and he was. But never had any success after that, really. Wild pitch. There you go, tied to second. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, Teoscar. The electric, baby. Top of the 8th. Pitches inside. He tried to frame it. Nice try. 2-2 count. Top of the 8th. Runner at second. Ty France. Teoscar in the box. Neris on the mound. Almost hit him again. Jesus. Maybe they should just hit us and we should fight. You know, you already fucking tried to injure Ty France with that bullshit, hitting his arm with Chas McCormick. I mean, again, if we're going to fight someone, we're only going to fight the Angels and the Astros. Those would probably be the only two teams that we would fight. I highly doubt that we would fight the Rangers or the A's. I mean, I guess if it came down to it, we would, but these are the two teams that we hate the most. The two teams that we have beef with, seems like, no matter what. Full count. 3-2 pitch with France at second. Chop foul. Come on, Teoscar. We did something simple. Say a couple bloops. A little bloop bloop. I mean, shit, we can go yard too. We can get RBIs, but I like with the part of the lineup that we're in right here with Hernandez, Suarez, Murphy. And we've seen Suarez and Murphy kind of been pretty hot, as of late. So it's just a 7, 8, 9 hole. Caballero did his job, but again, you're not getting pretty much anything from Pollock and Moore. It's like you put them in the lineup and they're going to go 0 for 8. It's like a wasted spot. Three-two pitch. Yes, we'll take the walk. I'll take the walk, baby. We don't want any double plays, but here we go. This might be the inning where we win, baby. Yeah, I like that. We'll take walks. Hit by pitches. Who cares? Next up, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Meeting on the mound. All right, what can we do to cheat, they say. Let's go, Gino. I need to hear fly away. My, oh my. Let's beat these bitches. Come on. The cheat throws. Come on, Gino. Come on now. Got to be able to get consecutive hits. Don't, no double play balls. Come on. I know it's probably one of those like pressure points too. It's like you're so eager to swing, but late in the game, if you could just be patient and take a walk, sometimes it's more valuable than just trying to chase for the stars and go for that big long shot. Just be patient in the box, and then eventually, if you get bases loaded and they've been struggling, what are the chances of them throwing 3 strikes in a row? Fucking impossible. And then you can just get a run automatically based off a walk from third to home. I know a lot of guys don't want to think that, but most home runs since 2018. Judge, Olson, Schwarber, Alonso, Eugenio Suarez is 5th. And one more, he ties Alonso. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. Since 2018, he's got 171 home runs, and he's one behind Pete Alonso. That is fucking crazy. No one would ever guess that stat. That Gino is 5th in homers since 2018 with Judge and company. That's just fucking crazy. Popped up foul. Come on, Gino. And I just love how unpredictable baseball is. It's like it doesn't even matter who the fucking starters are. They get out, whole nother ball game. and everything can change in a matter of a couple batters. In one inning, a half inning, and the game changes dramatically with the momentum, the Uncle Mo. Come on, Gino. Yeah, if Gino was more on, instead of having like 11 homers, he should have closer to like 15 to 18. I mean, it's how talented he is, but a lot of the Mariner players have been just reaching, 3-2 count. Yeah. Well, we've had bases loaded before a couple games ago with no out, and we couldn't even win. We couldn't even get one run at a bases loaded, no out. So just because we get bases loaded, no outs doesn't mean anything, for the Mariners. But I'm hoping we have some good juju here. Walked him. Telling you, take the walks. Walks are so valuable. It's like you can chase pitches, but you're doing the pitcher a favor, especially if you can barely hit the zone. Not every pitcher is going to be pitching like Spencer Strider down the middle fucking every time. So let them lose the game. We don't even have to win the game. Let them lose the game, and we'll take the dub. Walk another guy, boom, and then we automatically get a run in. But hopefully no double plays. Hopefully it's just like one out at a time, so that way we can get like a 1 or 2 run lead. Essentially, if we can get to 4-2 instead of 3-2, that could be the capper, but we'll see where it goes. Big dumper, good. They made a change. Yeah, we're 4-1 against the Astros so far. That's nuts. Pinch hitter, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. I got the rookie card here on the desk, autoed, based off this swing right here. I definitely love Kirby and Julio, but I love catchers. I love guys that are underappreciated, and a guy that's a switch hitter that can hit right or left. And he was the one that single-handedly got us to break the streak. So I got a little extra love for him as well. So, but he hasn't played very good, this year. He's been injured with the thumb a little bit. It's taken some time to kind of get on track. He should be hitting better than he is. Big swing and a miss. And then as of late, even Tom Murphy, the backup catcher, has been hitting better than him. And so I can still like a guy, and be one of my top 3 guys on the team or top 4, but I'm not going to give him just like extra credit or let some shit slide when he hasn't been playing good. People need to be called out when they're not doing as good as they should be doing. Overall, the team has been doing shitty. I mean, you're hitting like 230 as a team. It's ridiculous. Struck him out. Nothing for Cal. I think I would have rather had Jared Kelenic in that situation, even though, he's had some struggles. Oh, well. Like when you have Cal Raleigh last year, you felt good when he was in the box. This year, it's like you almost feel he's not going to do anything. And I think that's an honest evaluation. There's certain guys, even though you're batting 230 as a team, when they're up, you feel pretty good. Like, Teoscar, Julio, JP as of late, you know what I mean? But then there's others that's like, Mike Ford for sure, that he can do something. But I think the consistency, needs to be, upped a little bit. But again, it's a team effort. So that doesn't surprise me there. Mike can get it done. It's my guy, Mike Ford. It only took us 60 games to figure out that was the right choice. Not Colton Wong, not Jose Caballero, not fucking AJ Pollock, not fucking Dylan Moore, not fucking Taylor Trammell, not Sam Haggerty, and any other motherfucker that they put in there. It's like he did more in 4 games than any DH did up to that point of up to 60 games. He had 2 homers against the Angels in two different games, and then he homered twice, I believe, against the Marlins in the same game. And I was like, yep, that's our guy. And as soon as you saw that, you already knew that the DH spot is taken. It just sucks that we didn't have that right away. Now, if we would have signed Carlos Santana and didn't have him leave to go to the Pirates, then we wouldn't have had this fucking problem. We would have had a DH right from the very beginning, and our record's probably 5 or 10 more wins than we're at right now. Come on, Mike. Chopped off himself, 0-2 count. And we haven't had very many guys close to 300 all year. Kellenic was over 300 for a short, brief time. France was for a little bit. And then the best one at the moment, I believe, right now is leading the team overall. 282 is Mike Ford at DH. You know you're in trouble when your fucking DH is your leading batting average, on the whole squad. It's kind of disgusting, actually. But I like these Vogelback type of bodies, and we had Vogelback a couple of years ago. Ford! Oh, God, if that was fair, that would have been game over. That would have brought in 2. Come on. Just no double plays, please. Popped up. Shit. Damn it. 2 away. Fuck. See, bases loaded doesn't mean shit for the Mariners. We had bases loaded, no outs, and we couldn't even, win the game. All you got to do is get 1 run. 1. But it all depends on who's up in the order. And obviously now you have 2 guys with Cal that had no reps. Mike, no reps. And we'll see what happens now. Come on, Jose. 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI with a K. Jose Caballero. Come on, Jose. 0-2 count. Houston fans standing up, excited. A lot of those throwback Nolan Ryan jerseys. Those are pretty clean, I will have to admit. Neres on the mound. Caballero in the box. Come on, Jose. Popped up, chop foul. Four mound visits remaining. All right, Caballero strikes out. Damn it! That's his typical Mariners. But now I want to be able to see it for myself and know how terrible it is when you're a Mariner fan or any fan, when you have bases loaded, no outs, and you have so much hope and promise that you can get at least 1, right, to get in. 1, not 2, not 3, not a grand salami. And now another opportunity wasted. And now we might end up losing the game unless we can get this same type of production in the 9th. We'll see. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily over. I mean, we've had 11 Ks on us twice, and we were still able to come back and win those games. So still have a chance. I mean, most of the time when we have Woo, we're already down 4 or 5 runs. So for it to be 2-2, we're still in it, but terrible. All right, next up for the Astros, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Cheating ass, Jazz McCormick. Batting second, 0 for 2, catcher Martin Maldonado. And batting third, 0 for 3, second baseman Mauricio Dubon. I'm going to check up on my pup here real quick. All right, baby. Let's go. Andres Munoz. Let's go, baby. We need you. Come on now. Didi Gregorius. 4-1 Braves over Tampa. Bottom of the eighth. Game tied up at 2-2. Game in reach for the Mariners. Just sucks when you leave guys on base, but that's kind of the story. Elliot in the building. What's good, brother? I'm sorry that the Padres couldn't get that win. I saw that you guys lost in extras in 10. Hopefully you watched a little bit of Super Bad, and I hope that you've been having a good day. Come on, Munoz. Big swing and a miss. Next up, Martin Maldonado. 0 and 9 in extras. Holy shit, man. Yeah, like I said, a lot of us have not really been too happy with a lot of the performances and whatnot. Obviously Mets and Padres. Cardinals, probably the three most surprising teams where we expected a lot more from those three teams. So, do you watch every game? I know you do a lot of fantasy baseball still. Do you watch every Padre game, or do you get like fed up where sometimes you turn shit off, or you go hang out with your friends instead? Maldonado. Back, 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 back. Gone. God damn it. Of course, we fucking have give up a homer after having bases loaded. Fucking A. Fuck. Fucking Martin Maldonado goes fucking yard. 3-2 Stros. Next up, second baseman Mauricio Dubon. And I won't blame that on Elliott for him just coming in. Oh, brutal. You didn't tell me shit. I mean, we're 4-1 against the Astros, so 2 out of the first 3 and the last 2. So every cheating team deserves to win once in a while. But you never know. Maybe we can force extras and see what happens. Pitches outside, 1-2 count. Yeah. Like, how the fuck are you going to give up a home run to fucking Maldonado? Fuck out of here. Guy only has a handful of home runs, and then you're going to get, I mean, and then obviously you got your guy who's going to throw heat. So if you can just connect, it's going to be gone. But most people can't connect to Munoz's pitches that typically are going to be, anywhere between 90 to 100. So, and now we got Pena and Tucker up next. That's not good. Big swing and a miss to Pena. Come on, Munoz. You can't give up any more. It's just crazy when you have a guy that's really good, and that's the reason why you lose. It's like, but again, when you just, are just warming up and you're not out there for a long time and you're just expected to, bring heat every pitch, while you've been sitting there for fucking 3 hours. I mean, it's a lot harder to be a good setup guy and closer than people recognize. Like, you ain't getting no fucking Mariano Rivera's walking through the fucking door anymore. You got guys like Diaz and these other guys that are out there, but they're not Rivera. Like, good setup guys and closers are almost non-existent. There's not a lot. Home run derby, baby. My buddies will be there. They'll pick up some merch and some cool stuff. It just sucks that I'm not there, because if I was there, I'd have a chance to get a ball. The other two, Preston probably has a better chance getting a ball than Justin. Justin's a little bit more laid back. He doesn't really go for them. But Preston will bring his mitt, and he'll try if it's close by and whatnot. So, and he's been able to get baseballs at games as well. So sometimes it's about where you sit and a little bit of luck and acting quickly. Damn it, we walked him. Shit. Well, this Munoz experience has not been good, but again, he's been hurt for the first, chunk of the season, and we just got him. So. Next up, my favorite player on the Astros, right fielder Kyle Tucker. Yeah, Tucker, Jeremy Pena, Yordan Alvarez. Got no love for Altuve. Never will. But I will say, I wish he was playing. I wish both of them were. I wish that the Astros were full strength. And it's going to be a battle at the end of the season between Seattle, Houston, Toronto, Baltimore, and a few others, all jockeying for position. 6-0 Dodges. That's good. My dad's happy. 1-2 count. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. Runner at first. 1-2 pitch for Munoz. Get that right there. Good defense. The fucking 9-hole hitter with the homer. Jesus Christ. Like miracle shit. That shit does not happen. The 9-hole guy hits a homer. Fuck out of here. But that's life. That's life. All right, last ditch effort for the Mariners. We're down to 3 outs. Can we tie it up or possibly win? Leading off for the Mariners in the top of the ninth, 1 for 3 with an RBI, base on ball, and a K. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 4, 2 Ks. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. If you're going to be a Hall of Fame player, you can't be pulling up fucking 0 for 4 performances, my guy. All right? You want to be an all-star, you want to be a face of baseball, fine. But if you want to be a Hall of Famer, this 0 for 4 shit, got to quit. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a K. First baseman, Ty France. Wake the fuck up. Too much talent. You know, it's like I like JP, you know what I mean? And like, you know, for what he does as a 9-hitter or 1-hitter, I don't really have anything to say about him, but you know, not playing up to your potential, swinging and missing way too much. You're not playing up to your potential. You're not playing up to your potential. You're not playing up to your potential. Cal Raleigh not playing up to your potential. And then you usually have some kind of bullshit lineup at the end. You know, Pollock, Caballero, and Dylan Moore. So 2 of the guys you can't expect anything from. So you already are looking at 0 for 8 right there, unless you switch them out. That's facts. Kelenic, they made a change. I knew Jared would get a chance at some point. Come on, Jared. Over 1 strikeout in the 7th. He obviously, had the day off, but he's been mentally kind of out of it. Been getting really angry, arguing with umps, breaking bats, jumping up like Air Jordan to make like outfield attempts and missing. Like, you need to get back to those first 50 games when you were our MVP for the Mariners. Like, no one was doing anything besides Kelenic for the first 50 games. Then Julio started heating up. Then Teoscar. Now JP. But it's like these last 10 to 15 games have been really rough for Kelenic. It's like you might have one good game out of that 15-game set, but it's been not good. He's got all the talent in the world. Just needs to focus and just try to not be so fucking angry. But I get it. A lot of the umps have called bad calls. And once you argue with an ump early in the game, he's going to fuck you over at the end. It just happens. You can't expect to talk shit to a guy and then keep talking shit. And then when it's like a 50-50 ball at the end of the game or 7th, 8th, 9th, he ain't going to give you that call. If it's like, or even if it's a bad call and it's a ball and he calls it strike and then you're out. What are you going to do? Nothing. Bitch some more and get kicked out. So next up, J.P. Crawford. Come on, JP. Appreciate that. $2 holla. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. We go through like a very roller coaster with donos. I mean, some days we're at like 100 to 500, 500 to like 1,000, and then other days we're at like $20 or less. It's just very unpredictable. Two count. All right, I'll get you a Jordan Walker. I appreciate you. Well, I wish we didn't have so far to go to get to the goal, but I'm still going to grind it out, 7 days a week. And then eventually we'll hopefully get appreciated for all the hard work that goes in every day. JP, especially when I'm full-time, I don't know anyone that would want to work full-time for nothing. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Let's go, J-Rod. Popped up foul. Pitch is high, 1-1 count. Top of the ninth, 2 outs, 3-2 Astros. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Chop foul, 2-2 count. Yeah, and Julio hasn't really done anything, so I mean, it'd be very, a lot of odds are against him, but you never know. Momentum not in our favor. Two. Pitch is low, full count. Oh, baby, full count. That probably should have been strike 3 right there. Let's look at it again. Not being biased and just being real. Yeah, I would have called him out right there. That would have been strike 3. I mean, if that's anybody else in any other situation, that is strike 3. That's not a walk. And obviously it was going to be a full count anyways. Julio didn't even know the fucking count. Yeah, stupid. Everything the NBA do is fucking dumb, man. Like All-Star game, like changing the name of like rookie sophomore game and Giannis LeBron instead of Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Like get back to your roots. That's when you're going to bring the OG fans back. Walked them. Ball 4. Fans are booing like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. Motherfucker. Uncle fucker. Let's go. We'll take the booze. Jordan Walker. Appreciate your dono. Cardinals. Exactly, but they're trying to cater to like people your age, bro, and they're fucking everything up. They're like, like the way they do the draft and the way they try to, kind of push this like hip hop influence and then trying to make it like everyone's glitz and glamour. It's like a bunch of fake social media bullshit. It's like it's not the NFL. You're never going to be the NFL. All the way to the track, and it's over. Final score: Astros 3, Seattle 2. Congratulations to Houston. They won a game. It sucks that it had to be Andres Munoz giving up the homer to the 9-hitter, but that's baseball for you. But we won 2 out of the first 3 and the first 2 games in this series. So, I mean, that I would, you're not going to win them all. Right now it's 2-1, and we got a game tomorrow with Logan Gilbert, so which could be a time for them to be able to, tie it up. But there is also a chance Logan Gilbert does good, maybe, and maybe we go 3-1. But it would be we had a complete game with Logan Gilbert the last time around, so he would have to play really well for us to be able to win. I think, another time, but you never know. Oh, for the last 20, and then he connects with Munoz, and then they win the game. That cheap way, 3-2, the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu did well. Your team is actually in it. You're a big underdog, and then you fucking lose like that. But it's just baseball isn't fucking fair. This goddamn period, it's not. It's just not fucking fair. Didn't have a hit since the first inning, and then they decide to do that. Bullshit. And that's what happens though too. If you got someone that's a flamethrower that throws 100 and you connect, yeah, it's probably going to be a fucking homer because that's what happens. You either struck out, right? You struck out looking, you struck out swinging, right? Or it's out of there. There's not necessarily a lot of ground outs and pop outs for flamethrowers. It happens occasionally, but sour. It's all good. We got tomorrow. We'll see what happens. GG. Yeah, but you got to think, oh man, if you're gonna throw flames like that, every once in a while you're gonna get burned. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go, hang out with my pup. Hopefully, we can get, like I said, I got the Mariners play at 11 tomorrow, so I don't really know, what the turnout would be for a game that early. But I mean, I'll decide when I wake up. I'll be up early at like 6, 7 a.m. and I'll have my walk with Paisley at that point. But we're either going to do the Mariner game, the last game in the set, and then do NASCAR around 4:30 for that Atlanta race, or I'll just watch the Mariner game with Paisley and then I'll do the NASCAR race at Atlanta around 4:30, and we'll do that. And then Monday will be the home run derby, and I'll do that. Tuesday will be the All-Star game. We do that. So that's kind of the schedule. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you to everyone that liked, commented, donated, and hopefully we can get some more of the mods and the goats to come in. It'd be really nice to be able to, try to get closer to a goal than not. But I have faith. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I'll be back possibly Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. Have a great rest of your night. And I got one question for you. We don't talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.